This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 405 for the week of Tuesday, February 16th, 2016. My name is Erin, and on today's show we have editorial writer for the One Piece Podcast, Jill.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how's it going, Jill?
Oh, I'm good, I guess. It's burning hot here in Southern California. Welcome to 90 degrees hell.
Ugh, that sounds great. We also have artist and Saicon designer, Sai.
Hello, I still got more Saicons to finish because Zach won't let me free.
You gotta finish mine.
Yeah, well,
we
I'm
also
busy.
No, it's okay. We from Japan. We also have our news correspondent, Alison.
Hello. It's very windy in Japan right now.
Yeah, it's super windy here. It's the weather report from all over the world. We also have our very special
it's really
guest.
hot here.
We have our special guest and translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump, Stephanie Paulina.
What's up, bitches?
What's up, girl?
There's a joke that entirely depends on the tone of voice that you say it in for it to work. Otherwise, it'd be very inappropriate.
Is there another tone that you could do it in?
Was that a request? No, I'm not going to do that.
What's up, bitches?
There we go. And we have the host of the podcast, Xenon Logan.
I don't know if that's my name. Are you sure that's my name?
That is totally your name now.
Thank you, Erin, for starting the show for us. We're trying something new, and hopefully we could do this every so often if you guys out there like it. You guys ready for a great show today, though?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Totally.
That's good. This week we have our manga recap for chapter 816, Dog versus Cat, which may involve a dog versus a cat. We have an anime recap for episode 729, which was canceled last week due to an unfortunate incident in North Korea, but it's back this week. And we have pieced together and a lot more. Before we get into the show, first I want to mention a lot of our crew was down at Katsucon. And we're going to be catching up with them next week. I'll be down in DC as well for MagFest, so if anyone's over in National Harbor at the Gaylord, I will be there as well. That is the name of the convention center.
I know.
I heard Shuckle.
Sounds like a good convention.
You know what it is. My roommates named their, or my friends named their apartment the Gaylord after it.
Nice.
Oh, lordy.
Yes, exactly. Oh lordy. So we'll be down there for that. There's also 20 minutes of BS episode coming out. It either has come out or it's coming out this week. So look forward to that as well. We also have a lot of news on this episode, so we're going to devote a small segment to that as well. But why don't we get into the show, girls? You girls ready?
Totally, Zach.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally, girl.
Cast too. Let's go shopping.
Oh. Yeah, totally. I can get her nails done or something.
This is the news segment. We're going to go through some of the big stories from the past week. And with us, we have our news and editorial staff with us. Alison, we have Erin, and we have Jill with us still. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, yo.
So why don't we start out first with the unfortunate news that the One Piece manga is going to be on break coming this week. If you haven't figured out, coming next week, I'm sorry. If you haven't figured out by this point. It'll be back on February 22nd. I expect people just to be flocking to the site, scared out of their minds.
We look forward to your comments about how Oda doesn't work hard enough.
Oh my god. Sort of punch every single person who says it in the throat. Let him rest.
Please let him rest. The One Piece film Gold Straw Hat designs have been revealed. And I know Jill and Erin, you want to, or all three of you need to abstain with this story, or is that?
Can't say much.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just say if you want to see them, they're on the website, onepiecepodcast.com. Please check them out if you haven't. So the big news this week, though, is that after Josh was on last week talking about how he's going to announce Season 8 of One Piece, it just so happened that in an unceremonious fashion, One Piece Season 8 was announced, and that includes the Marineford arc, and it's coming out on May 31st, which just so happens to be the 7th anniversary of our podcast, bringing us full circle here.
Ooh, happy birthday, OPP.
Thank you. I mean, we got a little while, but when that happens, it's going to be a big day. Marineford starts in the dub, and we turn 7, so we'll be officially allowed to do whatever the hell 7-year-olds are allowed to do.
Pretty much just be douchebags.
No, that's 11.
It's a long age of douchebaggery.
That's true. So, yeah, check that out. You can pre-order it now on Right Stuff. I'm sorry, from the Funimation shop. I think it's on right now. It should be on Right Stuff and Amazon soon. So keep an eye out on that. We'll hopefully have more news on that front soon. But Jill, you also have an editorial that's out on our website. Do you want to tell people about it?
Yeah. So I wrote an editorial that came out last Wednesday. It's called "It's Not a Race, It's a Marathon." It's about, marathoning the One Piece manga, marathoning the anime, why I think it's a great idea and why a lot of people like me do it, and also that I just started my giant One Piece anime marathon, and I'm currently in Logtown. So we'll see how long this takes me and how drunk I will be by the end of it, or even alive.
I know when I first watched the One Piece anime, I watched it extremely quick. I remember watching all of Alabasta over Thanksgiving Day weekend. It's a good way to get away from your family if you need to.
Yeah, I'm doing about 10 episodes a day, and that's with work, so I don't work tomorrow.
See, I just read through the whole thing. I'm not like, I need some time before I watch through the whole thing. I think that's everything, though, so you can check out that and a lot more news at onepiecepodcast.com. Why don't we get on with the rest of the show? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
This is the anime recap for episode 729, Flame Dragon King, Protect Luffy's Life. I barely remember any of that happening, but we start out. I did do Ed's job and see how long the recap is. Damn it!
It was long.
It was long enough.
Yeah, I think the recap ends at 5:57.
Thank you, Erin.
Like all together.
You're saving me here. I did like the music that started out this episode, which I think is new Dressrosa music. I think we've heard it a few times during this 3-year arc, but it's still nice to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dressrosa does its music very well, especially its sound effects.
Yes, I think they've done. I think the sound department for One Piece has been upping its game, while the animation department has been going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning is just Doflamingo stroking his abs, is what that looks like.
It took me so long to figure out what was happening.
And he's doing it for a long time. I mean, it's like, wow.
Well, sometimes it takes a while.
It's true. It's true.
He's got to count them. There's at least 8.
He's fixing up his insides, though, we eventually see, which I think they reused the same animation from the one that he did that before.
Oh, yeah, they've used it a bunch of times.
Definitely.
This was a lazy episode, you could tell.
Yeah.
And not just because Luffy was, incapacitated, but also.
Yeah, I feel like the first half of the episode is pretty much just Mayumi Tanaka breathing into a mic.
I thought they did some cool, POV shots and stuff, but...
Yeah, I wrote on my notes, I really liked the way they showed his rubber powers kind of screwing up with, losing control and his heavy breathing and his blurred vision. I thought that was done really well, even if it went on for a while.
Yeah, my notes at one point I said he breathes, period, heavily, period, some more, until everyone is gone. And keeps breathing.
Well, thank God for that.
You know, you'd think bringing 3 different people into the anime recap segment would change our discussion, but it's the same. Also good to know that my autocorrect changes Dofi to Duffy, and I didn't realize that, but now I see every single time it says Duffy.
Okay, mine does all caps, so...
Well, I mean, Dofi!
Yep.
So, this is just like wasting time. Dofi trying to get up, and Luffy trying to get up. And, oh, maybe that was Luffy and it was changing. That's what it is. It's Luffy. It's not Dofi. Changing the Luffy to Duffy. Oh,
No, it's just... What if it's just all Duffy? Luffy and Dofi.
Yeah, I might have Doflamingo, so okay, that makes sense. It's Luffy Duffy. Oh, that's the fusion name. That's their fusion name.
That's the ship name.
Yeah, okay. That sounds like... I'm not going there. Okay.
What is Lou Flamingo better?
A little? Monk Dihote Lou Flamingo. Okay.
Monk Dihote.
Monk Dihote.
Oh no. Oh god.
And then we find out it's going to take 10 minutes for him to get back to normal while he falls into Gyat's arms. Now there's the ship we were looking for.
Perfect.
And meanwhile, Doflamingo is still stroking his abs.
It's okay. I had Dofi as a dramatic asshole at that point on my notes.
I mean, he is dramatic. He has a flair for the dramatic. He always did. That actually fits in his character.
Yeah.
Then we get a bunch of random people that no one cares about, including Damask, coming to... Please stop me if I'm missing anything, which I'm sure I am. To try and protect Luffy from Duffy. And...
Wait, is Damask the one that just blows fire?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that
yeah.
guy. He looks like one of those shy guys from Mario.
Oh,
You know, and he's just like fire. So I liked him.
I wish they used that sound effect.
maybe the sound department isn't stepping up.
Pick it up, Toei.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, you're welcome, Toei.
And Doflamingo descends, but he's thrilled. He's like, finally, I will beat Luffy. But, yeah, and then all the gladiators stop him. They Luffy block him. And, I'm sorry. They said more Zach jokes, right?
Oh, God.
Not like this.
Never like this.
And, meanwhile, Gyat's is, carrying Luffy on his back as I wrote them, all the punks, try and confront Doflamingo. And they're, like, really excited about it, like it's gonna go well. They're like, oh, we're gonna kick your ass.
Man, they have some high hopes. Like, I don't know if they noticed the destroyed island, but these guys, they think they can do it. I mean, go for it, bros. Try your best. Ganbate.
But then, out of nowhere, as Luffy is being carried by Gyat's, a still image of Jesus Burgess comes in and is kicked, and then later kicked by a still image of Sabo in the face.
Wee ha ha ha.
There's a lot of that. No exaggeration there. There's a lot of that. I was really disappointed with how that scene was done in particular, because that was like that's kind of the highlight of the episode.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really animated.
No,
they
I
were
was
just stills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Alison.
Oh no, I had in my notes. Yeah, there was a still with Sabo kicking, and then after that they alternate stills of Luffy's face and the back of Sabo's face, but the still of Luffy's face, half of it is obscured by Sabo's crotch, so it's just alternating between crotch and the back of his head a few times. I'm like, come on, Toei. Yeah. Okay. Enough from me.
No, that is it's a truly disturbing.
Yeah, I just I think it's after the break. Yeah, the commercial where like they totally break the 180-degree rule because Sabo is running at Luffy and crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jesus comes out of the wall on the right, but then Sabo hits him from the right cheek coming from behind Luffy and everybody.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that while watching, and it's weird because, yeah, like before the break, he came that way, and then after the break, they showed him running, and he just came from straight at them.
Yeah.
And A, how did they not see him? And B, no, why? Why would you animate it that way?
Like he ran past Luffy so that he could kick Jesus in the face.
Who hasn't said that phrase? They also repeat the same thing before and after the break. So.
Yeah. It would have been fine if it was like they showed more things while doing it, like Sabo getting his way to Luffy because Big Bro attack mode happened, but it was just badly animated running, and then just like the 180 rule was broken, and it made it very confusing.
And it was the same frame of him getting kicked in the face, the exact same one. And then he threatens him with a pipe. Which...
and he spins his wrist 360 a few times somehow.
Well, he's fire now. I'm sure that's okay.
No, there was no fire.
No, it's fine. It's fire. It's
hockey.
Do you think he could like make his pipe into a propeller by spinning his wrist 360 degrees?
And then he has like the engine, so he can just fly?
Oh my god, Sabo plane.
He's not Buffalo.
Sabo rocket.
Oh wait, okay, but the Sabo rocket thing, when he bounces off, that sound effect they use with the fire was the funniest thing since Luffy had the bound man sound effect. Like, I don't know who chose that, but thank you.
I'm probably skipping parts here. Burgess puts things together. Oh, he has two brothers. This is incredible. Burgess also puts together who Sabo was, being Lucy number 2, which Gyatso later puts together as well. And Sabo and Luffy share a tender moment, which is interrupted by Jesus, as many tender moments are.
God damn it, Jesus.
That's how I wrote it in my notes, though. That is his first name. Who does some, like, legitimate looking damage to Sabo, but he's made of fire, so it's fine. Yeah.
So, I don't remember, I'm trying to think, never mind, I'm not gonna spoil the manga, but, we had the fake Straw Hat crew before. I really want people to fake claiming to be Luffy's brother, because they keep appearing. And it'd be so funny if they're like, oh, well, I'm also Straw Hat's bro too. Me, Ace, Sabo, and Luffy made an oath when we were younger. Now we're brothers.
Jill, you didn't know? I'm Luffy's brother.
Oh, God.
Zach jokes. The last part of the episode was probably my favorite, where we get Doflamingo in like the red with the skewers coming out.
Yeah.
Tim Burton shit.
Yeah, and he walks forward menacingly, and it kind of ends there as Luffy looks knocked out.
Yep.
What do you guys think of the episode? Jill, you want to start us off?
I am a very big anime fan, and I will defend the episodes usually, but nah, you called this one in, Toei. Like, this isn't even like, oh, you didn't have a great animator. This is just lazy.
They had an extra week given to them by North Korea.
Good extra week. I understand. North Korea was an issue, but you had an extra week.
They better spend that extra week on a future episode.
Yeah.
I hope next week with I'm not gonna spoil it, but next week, yes, please.
I really don't remember what happens next.
Yeah, me neither.
You don't have to say it here. Okay. Well, let's go into the next segment. This is the manga recap for chapter 816, Dog vs. Cat. Steven, what's going on the front page here?
Well, it is the Decks of the World, the 10th volume of the 500 Million Man arc, and we have now reached Water 7, where everyone is in shock, saying, "You finally did it," which I believe the implication here is that Frankie has finally turned himself into a robot.
You know, for a second...
how Kokoro isn't, is stressed over this at all. All the girls are so happy.
All the girls are super down for Robo Frankie, which I agree.
This is the opposite of
it's the opposite. Yeah.
Odd.
I'm gonna be honest. I want to be Kokoro when I grow up. I want to be this old drunk mermaid who doesn't give a single shit about anything.
I want to be Chimney, who just somehow dances her way through life and solves problems and plot holes.
Well, it'll be good for you because you would grow down. if you become chubby.
Dude, I am already short.
I can't remember his name, but he's wearing fishnets, and I appreciate that.
Zombai.
Zombai.
Didn't Zombai always wear fishnets?
Yeah. He's just missing the he's just missing like the armor plated thing he wore.
Yeah, it just looks funny with a t-shirt on.
Mm-hmm. And then Lulu has like more spikes on his hair.
Those are going to be hard to get out.
Yeah, he does.
Stress.
Just 4 of
He's stressed.
Well, yeah, but
it's a sign of stress.
Was his mustache always spiky like that too?
I'm not sure.
We have to go look at pictures of Freddie Mercury. Yeah.
Also, fun fact about Mozo and Kiwi, they don't have the same birthday, even though they're twins. It's months apart.
What?
Because it was one of those fan birthday things.
It's because Oda doesn't care.
Did he say they were
pregnancy,
twins,
just like
or are they
Rouge?
just sisters?
I would assume that they're twins, but I don't know.
Wait, is it
I don't
just
think he ever
months
said
apart, as in, like,
the
4 months?
birthdays are months apart.
Yeah, but is it at least 9 months apart?
That would be even
it's
creepier, yeah.
like 4.
If they were sisters born 4 months apart.
We had a 20-month pregnancy. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I always
Logic
forget
doesn't
about
exist in this series.
It's held in
Steven,
the second child.
is there anything else that needs mentioning here in the front?
No, I think that's it. Tyrannosaurus is there. All is right with the world.
Okay. Let's start the chapter.
All right. Well, we are where we left off at the edge of at the edge of the elephant's ass, where everyone fell asleep, and they have trouble because now they woke up and they realized that the samurai have come up atop the elephant, and they were just sleeping away, having a grand old time. And this is a problem because this samurai named Raizo, who we haven't seen yet, was basically the cause for the Mokomo dukedom falling into ruin. And the others are obviously looking for Raizo, and so if they come across the minx, then it's just going to be mayhem. And so they're rushing off to stop the samurai. And we can see here we got Crouching Tiger, Hidden Tattoo Dragon on the elephant's butt here.
You forgot his name, but that was a good save.
Yeah, I'm really, really sad that I think somebody mentioned it last week that the tiger should have like melted on to Robin and everybody as they were sleeping.
Her shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just kind of there.
It's also interesting to note, as badly as these are drawn, these are the two sides of yin and yang, the dragon and the tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know.
Way better than I could draw.
Yeah.
You guys don't remember on those like
this,
silk shirts?
Ladder.
What?
There you go.
Also, I would not want to sleep at the edge of an elephant's butt. Just saying.
Yeah, it's an odd choice. I'll say that.
They're old people. It turns 6
Hopefully,
PM
there's
and they
not an
fall asleep.
updraft.
Okay. So yes, as
this is what you get
is
for
going
on the podcast.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, Steven. Sorry.
As this is going on, a little bell is ringing in the background over all of these panels, and they hear it, and that is Bariete the monkey sounding the alarm in the main city atop Zo, and he's sounding the call. Mm-hmm. It's an emergency. Samurai are upon us. Samurai are among us.
It's not right.
Emergency.
Take it up with Oda.
Why were you monkeying around?
He made the
these?
monkey pun.
He did.
Well,
He did,
so the
yeah, I need to
You didn't
know.
do you want to explain it, Alison?
Well, not so much explain it, but I just want to say I really appreciated when I saw your translations a day after the Japanese release. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was wondering, as I translate also sometimes, and I was wondering if you were just going to skip by these, but you grabbed the comical air about it, and so I just want to say good job. I really appreciated it. But, yeah.
Steven lives for these. I mean, this is your main thing, I think.
Yeah, if it's easy to do, then yeah, it's awesome. But so the joke here is that anyone who has read a lot of manga, may know that a lot of times it's kind of like the stereotypical way of, oh, this is how a samurai speaks, or it's like an old-fashioned thing. Especially if you've seen, I think the one everyone probably knows the most is Rurouni Kenshin. Is the ending every sentence with degozaru, which is a very old-fashioned kind of formal way of ending your sentences. If you've done any Japanese study, it's basically just a fancy way of saying desu at the end of your sentence. And his joke is that instead of saying degozaru, he says degosaru, and saru is monkey. So it's literally just one pun on Oda's part, but I was like, okay, well, like almost everything that he said has this little monkey note in it, and I don't want to just, and ignore that. So I started, putting together like a list of little like monkey related terms, and then trying to fit them in wherever possible. So I've managed so far, but I don't know how long I will be able to survive if he keeps having more and more lines.
Just get the Wikipedia entry for monkeys open, get all your species together,
There's only so many monkey jokes out there.
That is not true.
You're the real MVP, most valuable primate.
Yes. So meanwhile, in the fortress, where the minks have been hiding out with the Duke and all the others, they are all alerted to the ringing of the bell, and Duke Dogstorm is on top of the. I'm not actually sure now if the name Warney that Wanda used to refer to the crocodile was just an individual, or if that's like the name of their species. But at any rate, he is riding on one of them, and he is massing his troops to go to the city to see what's going on.
On a side note, I really like the shading on the bottom of the Warney.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
As a question, I don't know. I don't think I've noticed yet, but has anyone made a joke about Luffy's name being Monkey at all in this arc?
I think someone's called him like hairless apes, but I'm not sure if that was in reference to Luffy or just humankind in general.
I think
wow. Yeah, Wanda
general.
called them lesser minks because they have no fur, but I don't think anyone has talked about Luffy's name itself.
Do they know his full name?
I think must.
It's on his wanted poster.
Yeah, I'm sure it was in the newspaper.
Did they get the newspaper?
Yeah, they knew the obit from Jack.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
Erin, all yours.
Yeah, so we get a scene switch to the forest where Kinemon and Kanjo are standing around talking. They can hear the sound of the bell. They're kind of thinking about what it might mean. Is it going to alert the others to the presence of visitors, or are they going to prepare a grand welcome for us? So they're pretty optimistic about all this. But then Kinemon mentions that according to Sir Law, the man-hating types on Zou are minks. And Kanjo wonders, has that been the rumor for the rest of the world all along, or is it only recently? And then Momonosuke pops up. He's like, Father, Kanjuro, his two dads. And he runs forward. And he's so happy to see Kanjuro because it's been a long time, and Momonosuke didn't even realize that he was still alive. So happy. And then on the next page, Momonosuke explains that ever since he came to Zou, he's been unable to be at ease, and that he's been lying and sleeping in his room alone. So this poor kid, it's the second time that he's kind of denied himself rest, really. And then we get another scene switch back to the whale forest where
before the scene switch, sorry. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that I really loved how both Keemon, Kanjuro, and even Momonosuke, they're just walking down this path of apparent destruction with cracked trees uprooted from the ground, and they just don't give a shit.
Yeah, they don't seem to just
so happy to see each other.
They're oblivious to everything.
This is normal.
Is this supposed to look like this?
Yeah, everything's fine.
I bet they just assume that this is how it normally looks.
What if Wano just looks like this?
I got the idea they were aloof from when he was closing his eyes and then got knocked down to the ground 30 times. Never took them a whole night to get up there.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't had a lot of sleep, okay? And neither has Momonosuke either, now that I mentioned.
To be honest, they were acting like
they
were acting like idiots before that, though.
How did Momo know how to find them, where to find them? Like, he just ran right up to them, though.
He just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Hockey. Let's just go with hockey.
Oh, God.
I think Jill solved
Dragon
our
senses.
mystery. Dragon senses. I used my dragon sense.
Oh my God.
You know what they say about really little kids is like when you're really young, like a baby, you have a very strong sense of scent to recognize your parents, like even before your eyesight is developed. So maybe he just smells his two dads. And that's why he can't.
Well, I mean, they've been on the back of an elephant's butt, so.
Oh my God.
All night.
Okay, so the whale forest. In the whale forest, we see a bunch of the Straw Hats running away. And Luffy's kind of like running and sleeping and talking at the same time. And he's like, "What is it? What is it? Why am I running so early in the morning? It's Kinemon and who?" Usopp tells him Kanjuro. Is that Usopp? I can't tell.
It's Nami, because Nami didn't meet Kanjuro. She hasn't seen him before.
So I think she's like questioning, is like, is that his name? Is that what's happening? It's like Kinemon and Kanjuro?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, the Straw Hats are hauling ass, and Luffy's like, "Oh, another feast? I can handle consecutive feasts, no problem." So we know that Luffy is DTF, down to feast.
Me too, bro. WTF? Where's the food?
In like the last 20 chapters, we've had like 3 feasts already.
Oh, he's always up for a feast.
He's up for any challenge, as long as it involves
That's right. And Luffy's getting his face pulled by Nami in the most grotesque way that I can remember in recent memory in One Piece. Like, his eye is literally dragged down to the side of his mouth. She's just yelling at him like, "There's a score to settle, you idiot." And then in the next panel, we see Cat Viper jumping majestically into the air. And Nami continues that it's no wonder they all nearly died over the false accusations of harboring a samurai, and the Cat Viper just took all his forces and headed for the big town.
Wow! And Cat Viper appears.
You know, some people have talents, and some of those talents are cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
My talent is cat.
Is being a cat.
Well, I had years of experience. Anyway. Is that Kurar City? Is that how that's pronounced?
Yes. Yeah,
all
that's
right.
fine.
Cat Viper appears, jumping out of the air, obviously like rushing to get to this place because he was alerted by the sound of the bell. And the Pedro's on the building. He's asking him what he sees, and Pedro's like, "You should probably not be here. You should probably head back." Because out from behind the other building comes Dogstorm. And oh no, Cat Viper and Dogstorm they are not supposed to see each other at all, ever. Or else they'll fight like cats and dogs.
Presumably.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. you know, just probably.
They'll just form CatDog if they ever see each other again.
Oh god.
Oh no.
They'll fuse. They'll fuse.
I was
Oh my
happy
God.
until this moment. And then I remembered that.
That would be, that would be a very terrifying version of CatDog. Just saying.
Now that song's stuck in my head.
Well, I mean, then they would have all their limbs back.
Well, no, they would.
There.
No, I mean, one of them would just still be missing an arm, and the other would still be, yeah, missing an arm.
That's amazing.
So they would only have 2 limbs now, just one arm and
No.
one leg.
Yeah.
Well, now that image is in my head.
Very well.
Well, normally when
I
Steve's
gotta draw
on,
this.
no, Steve should be drawing because normally he asks you to draw it, Si.
Hey, I'm the one who usually draws nonsensical stuff like this.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
Anyway,
creepy. Yeah.
all the minions, or not minions, the subordinates are freaking out. They're telling the bosses to get away, to move, to head back, or to stay calm. And in the background of this, or in the foreground, I should say, you see this blurry image of Usopp rushing towards Kinemon, and it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah,
Then
Nami,
you can
Nami
also
too.
see Chopper.
And Chopper, yeah.
And Chopper, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
And Nami.
I thought that was Wanda.
And then you just hear this loud whoop sound in the background, this doomp.
Wanda isn't
As
there, yeah, when you see in the next panel too, so that's got to be Nami.
Oh,
I mean, they
Yeah.
were,
her face
and-
is all.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's distorted.
And yeah, and then the entire Straw Hat crew tackles the samurai to the ground, all of them. And Kinemon and Kanjuro have really hilarious faces as they're squished up against each other in the floor.
They're almost kissing.
Aw.
Well, they are now Momo's dads, so
But he has a third dad, guys. Let's just remember that.
yeah, he's got a third dad who's the cause of this situation. But
God, I can't believe he walked out. on
Momono,
them.
Wano
Yeah,
has very complicated marriage laws.
yeah. And meanwhile, Momonosuke is being held by Nami, and he's making this really weird face. I
He's
don't know how to
wearing
describe
Totally
this.
into it.
Look at his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, he's being a little perv, but it's a weird. I would normally describe it as Sanji's, but it's not that creepy. But it's a different kind of creepy. I don't know. Anyway,
Looks almost
they're
like
all telling.
like an elf quest face or something. If anyone remembers
Yeah,
that
kind of.
comic.
Kind of, but the crew's telling them to hide, get out of here. Don't let these people see you. We need to run to the Sunny right away, and then head into the next page.
You have to return down the elephant's ass to Sunny.
Why can't they go down the front
No, only down the
The
ass.
Sunny's not there.
or the side?
Alison. Yeah.
Okay, and dog versus cat, they're face to face, sparks in the air, and they're commenting on how monstrous they look since they last saw them due to their missing limbs. And their subordinates are freaking out, someone stop them before who knows what's gonna happen. But then we get some of the most darkest, gruesome flashback I can remember.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They're reminiscing about the torture they went through as they get their limbs really chopped up slowly. And oh god, the sound effects.
Yeah, that's not
And
good.
yeah, really, you can
Yep.
just hear it being cut
You
off
have one job,
slowly.
anime.
Yep.
Well, that.
Come on,
Well, that's
Joey.
their only job.
Well, they're good. Well,
Their one
on
job
sound,
here is
and-
gonna cut this part and put in happy
Yeah,
flowers
probably.
or something. And
Your one
Well,
job
maybe
is to
I
No, they're-
make
they're-
One Piece good.
No, their job here is probably going to be padding this out, and so them cutting their limbs off is going to be half the episode because it's going that
Oh my
slowly.
god. Oh
Ouch.
god, I hope that's not the tag.
I don't know. I don't.
That's
Yeah,
gonna
I
happen.
would
Honestly,
Trust
honestly,
me,
I would
I've
not
been
be
watching it.
surprised.
Sigh
Yeah.
first.
So
Okay.
any
Okay, go ahead, Allison. Yeah.
Anyway, Jack threatens, either I sever this leg or you tell me where the samurai is. Shall we find out which comes first, King of Dogs? And Dogstorm, and he's been saying that Raizo's not here, so he said, then it seems that my leg will not be spared, and the leg is gone. And then he comments
that's such a cool line.
Yeah.
Like,
Basically
well,
just saying,
I'm gonna lose
I
a leg
guess
then.
I'm gonna lose a leg then. Yeah.
Yeah.
They also, I think it's interesting they use the King of Dogs. You can tell they're using it as an insult, but he's just like, yo, man, that's my species, so okay, bruh.
Yeah.
Don't talk down to dogs.
Oh. Okay, and then Dogstorm comments, so you lost a paw too, eh, Cat? You're no good in a fight anymore, but I guess you can still eat lasagna. And...
I love that line.
Yeah. They obviously know each other very well.
Yeah, which makes me a little more curious. Where are they like on such bad terms now? But I guess time will tell.
Flashback.
Yeah, flashback begins again. More dark. Ugh. Yeah, next page.
Go ahead, Jill.
So Cat Viper is pretty pissed that these are not very like prideful warriors. You spread your gas and only harm those warriors who are weakened. You garbage excuses for soldiers. And they're like, oh God, he's hulking out here. Angry Cat is very angry, very grumpy. Trying to rip the chains loose. Is the gas even working? Make it so he can't use his arms. So he says, that's right, I dare you. I dare you. He doesn't double dog dare them because that would not be okay because he's a cat. He kitty dares them.
Double cat dare.
Yeah.
Although don't waste your time on the
Yeah, quick tangent. He's obviously like doing this to keep the warriors away from the people, which is really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a good cat.
Yeah, he's
a good kitty.
He's a good kitty.
Good kitty.
Like a Jinx.
Yeah.
I would pet him. I'd lose my arm, and then we would match, but I'd pet him.
No, give him lasagna first.
I don't want to give away lasagna. That shit is awesome.
I don't like cheese, so this is okay for me.
So yeah, he's definitely trying to keep the focus on him. Don't waste your time on the people here. Turn your spears onto me. Give me your worst, and I'll show you how flimsy those sticks are. And then you just hear it and see it. You can just tell that. I mean, we all know what happened, but yeah. And then we're back at the present, and they're still fighting. CatDog's not happy. The relationship is a little strained.
Stop it.
It's a shame you got away with just one missing leg. I wouldn't have minded if you died after all. One king's all this land really needs. Come on, guys. Can't we just pet it out? Garchu, come on.
Or lick it out.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, that was a lapse in your translation there, Stephen. You should have included that.
Garchu it out.
Sorry, yeah, I was trying to do a Netflix and chill joke.
Garchu and chill?
Netflix and Garchu. I'd be down.
Garchu and Garchu.
Garchu or Garchu?
No, it was it Denten, Mushi, and Garchu.
Okay, I think we can move on from here.
No.
So everyone's like, oh God, no, stop that, you two. And then they're still fighting. They don't care. Let us send one to the afterlife. And then you gonna die, you mutt. I love Cat Viper so much. And then dog and cat. And is that Luffy? Yeah, Luffy's like dog and cat because he doesn't know their names. He just knows their species. And Usopp's hanging like a monkey, so he fits right into the minx there because Kinemon is enormous. And
yeah, I forget he's like 8 foot tall.
He's as tall as Brook.
He's as tall as Brook.
Brook somehow grew 2 inches during the time skip. I don't know how.
Milk.
Milk.
Yeah, he's 9 foot.
Bones are living things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't tell.
Yeah,
don't tell
but
Brook
he's 90.
that. Because Brook's all dead.
So he should have shrunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have shrunk.
Then there's like this awesome clash between Cat Viper and Dog Storm. It blows everyone away with the shockwaves, and it's just like ka-ching. It's beautiful. I love it. And then the crutch goes flying away.
So I'm guessing this is part of that, what we're guessing, static electricity power, but who knows. It reminded me of the clashes we saw in Dressrosa with the Conqueror's hockey, but I don't think it's
it
that.
does.
It does look similar.
Also reminds
Jill, go ahead.
Also reminds me of Kyros with one leg, hopping around, fighting. There we go.
Totally fine.
I wonder if this is going to be a running theme with the arcs from now on.
Oh my god.
Everyone's missing an arm.
Like,
well, the first chapter started with a guy missing a leg
walk.
or an arm.
Yeah.
Shanks walks on his hands, one hand.
Seahawks.
That's how he walks around. He just uses his hands.
God.
Alright, cease this squabble. Kinemon, who looks like the severed head he was in Punk Hazard, comes in with an Usopp hand in his mouth.
Oh my god, I thought that was his hand.
Take your hand out of there.
It's a weird
Usopp
panel.
needs to get his hand out of there.
It's I think I hope you guys agree that's a weird looking panel, but
that's strange.
I mean, Kinemon looks strange in every panel. Let's be honest here. And Usopp dangling off of him is, you idiot! Why are you yelling? Why are you going in there doing all this? And Pedro and the rest of them turn around. They're like, wait, is that? Things don't look good because everyone notices that Kinemon is indeed a samurai. Usopp literally dangling off of Kinemon's robes, and you could really get an idea of how huge Kinemon is there. Saying, look, they spotted you. What did I tell you, you stupid idiot? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm making up things here. Telling him to
spot like the dog.
This is what Usopp's thinking.
I can imagine that, yeah.
Telling them, oh yeah, spot the dog. Telling Kinemon to run away, saying that they would kill him, but it looks like it's already too late. He has been spotted. As we get a zoom into the eye, and this time not of Jack, but of Dog Storm and Cat Viper.
CatDog.
It makes a terrifying face the way that Oda's put those two panels together, because it looks like one person, but just wrong.
Well, that would be like CatDog down the center.
Okay, that's feel like we should move away from this.
Around.
Is this like how does the dog wear the pants thing? It's just where does the dog and cat split happen? Like, down the middle or side to side?
Well, one thing we do know, they'd never wear pants.
No. Let's get away from the 90s cartoons references as we see 90s, right? I don't know. Anyway, we see now I forgot Kanjuro running in there, asking for Frankie to let go of him, and Momonosuke also running into where the action's happening, and Usopp is like saying, "No, all of you guys, what are you doing? Get away from here, flee!" And Usopp trying to plead with Cat Viper and Dog Storm, saying, "Look, they don't mean you any ill will." And here, Kinemon announces, "People of Zou, I am a servant of the Kogetsu clan. My name is Kinemon. I am in search of my compatriot Raizo. Have they come to your land?" Usopp's face in the corner adds something to that panel.
That's my favorite panel in this whole chapter.
I love how Kinemon's face can never fit in a panel. Like, no matter
He's
what.
Just too big.
His expressions are too expressive or something.
Yeah. He is like 8 feet tall. He's too big.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to point out the hilarity of people telling Kanjuro to hide with the colors he has in the anime, because he is the brightest neon Ronald McDonald I have ever seen in my life.
It's the most accurate description I've ever heard of him.
Yeah. I remember my horrified expression when I first saw that.
Usopp.
Oh man, I'm shopping for fabric for my cosplay of him as we speak. I'm so excited.
You're doing Kanjuro?
I'm gonna be Kanjuro, I swear.
You're gonna stand out
you
as
are
much as
very
Kanjuro.
ambitious. Ronald McConjuro.
Ronald McConjuro.
I don't think I came up with that. I think Steve did a long time ago.
It's possible. Still funny. And Usopp explains, look, I told you, it's because he's not here. That's why everything bad has been happening. And Chopper also looking distraught about this. But then you see Dogstorm going to his knee and Cat Viper going to both of them. And we turn to the next page. Erin, what happens?
Yeah, we get a close-up of Dogstorm's face, and he's doing the nasty, dirty, like Oda cry, snot coming out of the nose, and he's like, "How we have awaited you." And we kind of switch quickly back to the flashback scene where they're being tortured, and we see that Cat Viper is also crying, and then we get this awesome 2-page dodon spread, where one or both of them is saying Raizo is alive and well, and we can see beneath that all of the Straw Hats get an individual panel for their shock face, some more shocked than others, except for Frankie, who's just straight up crying, as he usually does.
He can't even, he can't fit into the panel.
Yeah. Frankie doesn't even know what's going on, and he just starts crying. I like sympathize with that so much when it comes to One Piece.
That's what I love about Frankie, though, is he's always so empathetic and compassionate, and when he sees something like this, he's really moved by it.
That's the most shocked face I've seen Zoro make with one eye.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He looks. I don't even know what to like express that as. That's just the most shocked I've ever seen Zoro.
Definitely.
Oh,
that wasn't like
walked in
like
on someone.
Go ahead, Jill.
Oh, Jill. Yeah.
I was gonna say he looks like he walked in on someone doing something not great and slowly backed out of the room.
That is, yes.
The fan fiction writes itself.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say that's the most shocked I've ever seen Zoro, where his mouth isn't like 3 feet below his chest.
Like Brooks, we can't even see the bottom of his mouth. I also love how Luffy just is sneaking into the main panel there. He's like, "Oh, I'm the main character. Let me just get in here on the side."
Yeah, he's just like creeping in.
Oh, I also didn't notice how everyone else is kneeling. All the other minks.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the other musketeers. I didn't even notice them. There's the fox guy, and
Chopper's doing.
Momonosuke is holding on to Kanjuro.
Chill.
Oh, they're both doing it.
Yeah, no, it's super cute the way Momo's doing it, just like clutching onto the pants. But the way Chopper is, it's like how he tries to hide, but then it's like Usopp's doing the same exact thing.
I didn't notice that.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Mix in the background. They're also all taking their hats off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have the Western musketeer kind of like British, French looking people. They all have the hats, so they all take it down, which I think is a more Western, and for lack of a better word, tradition. And I'm guessing I don't really know what's going on the other side. If it's more of a prostrating, than it is anything. But
yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah, I don't know. Jill, you want to finish?
I thought it was a nice gesture.
It's cool. It's a nice gesture, and it's a beautiful panel. We'll probably discuss it more when we finish off here. Jill, finish this off.
All right, so we end up here seeing a new panel of the reactions of the Straw Hats. Luffy has just collapsed, I guess. His knees are so weak with the power of mink friendship. And Frankie's Hot Topic shirt is back. That's great. All I can see.
Isn't it Minktimacy? It's the mink friendship. Minktimacy.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't notice before, but is Brook kneeling or just the weirdest crouch I've ever seen in my life?
Little column A, little column
he's
B.
on his knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoro's better now too. He's like, no, I'm cool. I wasn't shocked.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, he quickly scolded his way back into stoicism.
Yeah. So Kinemon obviously doesn't seem to get the Straw Hats' reactions because he doesn't understand that they thought the whole time that something was going to go down. So he said, "So Raizo is well. I am glad." And the cutest grin from Dogstorm, who is a puppy in the end. Let's be real.
Aww.
And Luffy's still shocked. And Usopp's even more shocked. And is like, "What? Hang on, Raizo is here and has been here all along, and you all knew?" And then I love these 3 panels of the different minks, and they're all just like that content happiness, where it's not quite like outright smiling, but it's just like, yes, everything's okay. He's crying, and then Usopp's that beautiful, beautiful man, Usopp, sobbing out of his nose and eyes as well, I guess. But all of you were about to die. A city a millennium old collapsed into ruin. And Nami. I am watching Kokoyashi Village, Arlong Park right now, and she looks a lot like her scenes there in this one panel. And more panels of the minks. And then I believe it's Cat Vipers. Sorry to have kept it a secret from Yugara. Since long ago, we have been like brothers to the Kogetsu clan of Wano. No matter what should fall, we would never sell a comrade to an enemy. And then
Luffy's super happy.
Luffy is so happy, and hiatus time.
Yeah, it ends off on a sad note there. I don't know why they all announced that suddenly. Yeah, so that's the end of the chapter. Let's go around. Thoughts and feelings. Erin, you want to start us?
Thoughts and feelings. There were many this chapter. Zoe's just been like a really emotional roller coaster for me. I guess we'll start off on a lighter note. I really liked how Pedro, and it's totally random, but just how Pedro was like hopping on top of the building. And I seem to remember in the last couple chapters when Cat Viper was like in bed, if you looked in the background, Pedro was like standing on top of a bedstand or something. Like he always has to be at the tallest point in the room. And I just really love that about him.
Yeah, it's a cat.
Yeah,
thing.
he's a jaguar, and he's just like, that's a little character quirk that I like. But yeah, I was totally not expecting this huge conflict to just totally not happen. I was fully expecting the minks and the samurai to get into some kind of fight.
Yeah.
And we would have another couple chapters of that before we even decided what was going to happen with Sanji. But nope, classic Oda just pulls the rug out from under your feet. And he's like, no, they're actually secret friends, and I'm going to make you cry at work in the middle of the day when you're reading this chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just really great. Is this the first time that we've heard mention of the Kogetsu clan?
Steven,
yes.
I'm going to...
It seems like it.
So yes is the answer to that. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Because it just makes me wonder if, like, the minks have a connection with Wano as a whole, or if it's just the Kogetsu clan. Is what I'm thinking.
I'm feeling like a Skypiea-esque, like, ancient history flashbacks coming up soon.
Yes.
Which is great, because I love that flashback.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. We know it has to be something huge because, you know, they were also described as like, these are the 2 guys that they can't let die no matter what. Like they have some kind of important mission or duty or something or other. You know, Cat Viper and Dogstorm.
Catstorm and Dog Viper.
Catstorm. That's the CatDog name, Catstorm.
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 So yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's some, you know, whatever the tie is, that it's old and it's probably something to do with you know, a deeper history sort of thing. So that's really exciting to me.
I mean, not to cut in here too soon, but it would be really cool. I mean, think about the amount of flashbacks we've had in this arc already, and then another big one with Dogstorm and Cat Viper and their whole journey, which is something I know I'm curious about seeing. That would be cool. This has been a very weird and different arc.
I'm totally...
Sai, why don't you start? Thoughts on the chapter.
Yeah, I really like this chapter. It was kind of a great character study for the various characters, because the audience honestly believed that Dogstorm and Cat Viper were gonna go at it like cats and dogs, and that again that didn't happen. Instead, we find out that these minks were hiding Raizo even at the cost of their entire culture, their children, everyone would have died to keep this man a secret. Just in respect to their friendship to the to the Kogetsu clan. And that's a really good character study. And I really like that. And also a little thing I mentioned earlier, Cat Viper was redirecting the anger of the attacking forces onto himself so that his subordinates wouldn't get hurt instead. I think that's a good mark of a leader.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. In fact, that's probably what Dogstorm was doing too.
Now I gotta look back right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I all good points. Alison, what did you think?
Oh boy, where do I start? Well, like everyone, I was not expecting this turn of events, so well done, Oda. You duped us all. And then let's see. For the sake of throwing it out, since I had a Japanese jump on hand right now, the Kogetsu clan, the way that's spelled in the kanji, the characters are light for Ko and moon for Getsu. So it kind of spells moonlight. Just to throw that out there.
Ooh, this is piqued my interest.
Chow actually was like, someone talk to Zach. Gotta talk to Zach. There's a moon in that. There is a moon.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you might like that.
We've seen the moon kind of this arc. It's been somewhat prominent in the background, right?
See the sun and the moon both a lot in this arc. Not just the moon, but like at least the mention of it.
It was clouded the whole time. The previous night, it was a full moon, and they're like, "Oh, it's a good thing it's clouded, or else blah blah blah." They didn't say what the blah 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 was, but yeah.
Maybe the elephant is a werewolf. I don't know.
It's an elephant werewolf.
No, it's a
so there's
no Ella wolf.
Ella wolf. Alison,
well, where means human. Where means human.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't use were elephants because, yeah.
Alison, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So just gonna say that's another moon to think about. Keep in mind. And something I really, really enjoyed about this chapter is the extreme loyalty of the minx. And that's that kind of made me think of classical samurais, which is ironic because, I mean, the samurais are the ones who are supposed to show their extreme loyalty to their lords, but it's the minx, like, just hiding Raizo at the cost of their lives and their culture and showing their loyalty to the clan and just welcoming the samurais who indirectly brought destruction to their culture. Everything's fine. Your friend's safe. They're alive. And Kinemon himself was like, cool, great to hear that.
Kinemon has kind of a non-reaction there.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
But yeah, it's to me personally, it felt like not exactly a role reversal, but you see a lot of samurai characteristic in the minx, as like with their loyalty. And in one of the pages, actually, Dogstorm, when he was saying, "I swear to God, I know no Raizo. If such a man is here, I will cut my belly." That kind of cutting your belly seppuku is a way samurais commit suicide when they commit acts of treason and such, and
like dishonor.
And yeah, there you go. That's the word. And another sort of irony is that ninjas, first of all, they're not supposed to be seen. They hide all the intel, and if they were to be caught, they would commit suicide by biting their tongues rather than speak the secrets they hold. But
for dogs, tongues are much more important, so that's not going to happen with him.
Well,
but I mean, so like say if Raizo, he's a ninja, right? So he's in a situation where he's maybe cornered. Well, he's definitely on this island, but he just remained hidden and let this entire culture take the damage, which is, I don't know, just so many feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he couldn't have revealed himself, or else it would have defeated the whole purpose.
Yeah, so I think what I want to say is that the Ming seemed more samurai and ninja rather than the actual ninjas and samurais in the story.
It's an interesting point, yeah.
Okay, and lastly, something very different from samurai culture is that, well, there's a definite hierarchy with the lord serving the samurai, and then even lower, but a stark difference between the actual traditional hierarchy and what we see here is Cat Viper's final lines where he says, let me see the actual page. Since long ago, we have been like brothers to the Kogetsu clan of Wano. So that's like brothers, so that's like equals. There's no top bottom relationship or anything. And I think that's gonna sit really well with Luffy.
Yeah.
Being equals.
Yeah. Jill.
Okay, so first off, because I've been staring at this page for 10 minutes now, Cat Viper gives Usopp this little pat when he's like sorry for having kept it a secret. And it's adorable. Like,
yeah, I love that.
Thank you, Cat. It's like when cats will just come up to you and like hit you.
Well, yeah. Well, Pudding's on my lap right now, so my cat.
She's not with Sanji?
No. Coincidences. Okay?
And
Sure.
I don't know how that happened. Okay.
Big Mom sigh.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, I'm actually Bonnie.
There we go. I knew it.
The mystery deepens.
So,
go ahead.
I think this arc is really interesting so far because literally almost every like issue that could come up has been resolved. And we're so early into it, like, oh God, they're all being attacked. Nope, they healed them already. Jack is gone, like reported dead, who knows. Oh God, the Big Mom pirates are here. Oh, well, no, they're gone too. I mean, they took Sanji, but they're also not on the island. Oh God, the samurai are going to be killed. Oh, nope, Raizo's here and there's no problem with the samurai. So it's really weird that like there's not actually a conflict at all happening right now on the island, on the elephant even. And it's kind of, we've had a lot of flashbacks so far, and I wonder if this, because a lot of people thought this was going to be a transition arc, which I think is super possible in that we might just have a flashback about how they became brothers with the Kogetsu clan, and then we might move on. Because I can't, other than that, we haven't been introduced in a reason for them to stay for any longer. I don't think.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a weird arc.
I like that it's a weird arc, personally.
Yeah, I mean, we could either go to Wano Kuni, or we could go somewhere else, or we can go to Sanji, or we could stay there. It could go in so many different directions, and all of them are plausible.
Steven.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jill.
No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Okay.
Stephanie.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, I think everyone else has kind of covered the qualities of this chapter and what made it so great and what made it so notable. So I guess I'll just mention a few things. So to kind of continue what Jill was just talking about with like the kind of resolution of the dramatic threads, I guess, or at least the conflict on Zoe itself, is it kind of seems like, so like right now, priority number one should be getting Sanji back because, you know, he's part of the crew. They're not just going to go onward to like the next island and just assume that Sanji is going to get out of whatever his problem is. That's not what the Straw Hats would do. That's not how Oda tells his story. So I feel like now, go ahead, Zai.
Oh, well, the last time Luffy did that, Ace was executed.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think what this does now, this revelation that, okay, the Minks and the samurai are not actually at odds at all, makes it more likely that possibly the Minx will send out like a I don't know if it's going to be a war party. I guess it depends on what we find out about Raizo and the exact relationship of these two groups, but they might end up taking the samurai on to Wano while the Straw Hats go and resolve this issue with Sanji. And then, at some point much later in the future, when the Straw Hats finally get to Wano, then we'll kind of see the result of whatever this is. That's an idea that that I had. Another odd thing. This is just a little random tidbit, and I actually think before I actually tell you what this is, that I'm going to preface this by saying that there's way more evidence against this being the case, but I did think it was kind of interesting, which is that Alexi, our editor for One Piece at Shonen Jump, suggested, and he actually changed, he tweaked the wording of one or two lines in this chapter to retain the possibility that Raizo is actually not a man but a woman, which would be weird, and it's something that nobody would have expected because Raizo is a male name, but they've always referred to him as a companion or a compatriot. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe that Kinemon has ever used the word man with it. And it's kind of interesting that in this flashback, Dogstorm says, "If such a man is here, I will cut my belly." So he's literally sort of half telling the truth there.
Yeah. Like the Hamlet
but
thing.
maybe not.
So third dad is mom.
Yeah.
Also possible.
It could be. Now, yeah, there's a lot of evidence against that, such as the fact that a female ninja is called a kunoichi. They have their own term for that, which they haven't used. They've been saying ninja. I don't know if
it could be
I don't know. It would be
a hiding in plain sight thing.
Yeah, something like that. But that would be really interesting and another kind of a huge twist on what people were expecting. But I think the probability is probably pretty low. But I guess we'll probably find out pretty soon. I feel like that's going to be pretty imminent where we're going to find out more about Raizo.
Yeah, it would be really cool, especially because that'd be really cool, especially because a lot of people because One Piece, various fan service and some sexism, it's what happens in the series, but a lot of people are worried about Wano being a traditional Japanese setting and how women are going to be portrayed there, but actually having female ninja being a main character would be amazing.
Yeah, we've already had one scene with Kinemon where he's like, a woman should stand 2 steps behind a man or something.
Oh yeah.
With Nami. Yeah, that was one scene. So.
Or no, are you thinking of
high,
Are you thinking of the thing with Oda at the beginning of the? I think that was one of his things at the beginning.
No, I think Kinemon said something to Nami about that on Punk Hazard. I could be wrong.
No,
he was talking about the breast band with her.
Yeah.
No, I think there was something else, but I could be wrong.
I think I know what you're referring to, and I think it's one of Oda's things from the beginning of a volume during Punk Hazard.
Mm.
He did quote that at the beginning of a volume, but I think he may have also used it in the dialogue. Maybe that's what Sai is remembering.
If it doesn't work once.
Yeah, but that would be really cool to have a female ninja, especially since, it'd be nice to just have a female action-y character, even if it's a ninja. It's just, we need more of those in One Piece.
Well, from this Shonen Jump, we know that Oda finally saw Star Wars, so maybe that'll help him give that the impetus there.
Oh my God, let's go!
Mm-hmm. I heard the next one is gonna have another female lead.
The next Star
Raizo.
Wars.
Yeah.
Raizo.
Okay.
Quick thing.
Yeah.
Usopp's face on the last page. It reminds me a lot of when during Water 7 when he was all beat up and he was trying to get the money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Also nice to, right next to that, nice to see old monkey guy there again. What was his name? It had the same name as 5 other people.
Onji.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't make enough monkey puns. I think you should have worked more monkey puns into that ellipses there, Stephen. I'm sorry. No, this is a really good chapter. It really, just to reiterate what everyone else said, I don't know about you guys, but I really did not expect this at all. I mean, I think from what I could tell, everyone did expect it. Stephen, how did you hold back last week?
That was pretty good.
But you don't know what happens next week. Right now.
Not yet.
Yeah. So we're all in the dark right now. I really am curious as where this is gonna go. I really like the idea of more times the moon could play into this. We might get our moon answer in a flashback. It seems like all the action is going to take place outside of the present, which is fine. I mean, it's still been very interesting. And let's be honest, one of Oda's best things that he does are flashbacks. Even in the worst of arcs, the best part of that arc will be the flashback.
I love ancient flashbacks a lot because we can know more. It's not just like their personal history, but any tidbit we can get of like the lost century would be amazing.
You and me, Jill, we're on the same wavelength with this. No, I agree.
Don't forget me.
And Sai, yes. Okay, everyone's up. No, that'll be really cool if we get anything. I don't know if we're gonna go that far back though. I feel like it's just gonna be the history of Cat Viper and Dogstorm, but I think through that we'll get glimpses a little further back.
I mean, we could have both because.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
Okay, well, because if the elephant is ancient, it's super old. And Wano's an old country. I mean, I assume if it's supposed to be based off traditional Japan and it's not part of the world government, I can see it being like a really ancient flashback, and then we go back or forward to Dogstorm and Cat Viper.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah, the thing is though, with the ancient like flashback idea for Zoe, this would probably be the best place to have it in the story, like just plot wise. Anywhere else it would kind of seem out of place.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could connect it to Wano, but again, it's kind of weird. This arc is styled is so out of left field for us. It's hard to predict anything.
I'm sure we're gonna get some questions about this in the Piece Together segment. So why don't we get into that? Ready, guys?
Yep.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Hey, get out of here, Cat. We're doing the Piece Together segment. No, get out! Jesus. Don't make that face at me.
I want some lasagna.
This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, and theories. Let's start with emails. First one comes from Mr. A. Rollins. Hello, One Piece Podcast crew. I want to say, my bad, if the last email was overly critical of Zach. I'm starting to remember who this person was.
I remember that.
He didn't realize how harsh it was. Water under the bridge for now. He also said he didn't realize he didn't realize what he actually was meaning, so he's apologizing for all that. Anyway, now that he's cleared that all up, he has a thought, and he says, while I don't know where Oda's headed, he believes that Cat Viper and Dogstorm will play an important role against Kaido. What if those two team up to take down Jack? This will serve two purposes. They'll get revenge for the destruction of Zoe, and it'll force them to work together, possibly rekindling their friendship. In contrast to the criticism, here's a compliment, Zach. Thank you. You're doing a splendid job with the podcast, especially starting the year off with more dude. But compliment is
there's not a lot of dudes on this one.
Yeah, that's gonna be my fault. Dudettes. We've got at least 4 dudettes here. And Steven.
And 2 dudettes.
Two dudettes. No, that's a different series.
Dudettes.
And any thoughts on how you see Cat Viper, Dogstorm working together, if at all?
Fusion.
I like that idea.
CatDog.
Fusion.
Stop it with the CatDog.
That's my answer. Well, my real answer, Crisis, or like working with the Gotetsu.
Yeah.
I know I'm saying that wrong. The
Kogetsu?
Wano family.
You said it better than me.
Kogetsu?
Kogetsu.
Okay, yeah. I imagine that it's probably going to be them working with like the Kogetsu family, maybe getting them back to Wano, and shit happens, and then they meet Kaido and stuff happens. I don't know. That's the only way I can see them working together.
Any other thoughts on that? Sounds like a no. Next one's from Vice. This one is for Stephen Paul. He spelt your name wrong. I'm sorry, Stephen. But
You mean Stephanie?
Well, it's a different guy.
Stephanie.
it's got to be someone else. Yeah, it's Stephanie Paulina. We all know that's the name that we're going with this week. He said, "What's up with the arc titles on the covers and spines of One Piece?" I don't think you control this, Stephen.
No, I have no control over that, unfortunately. If it was up to me, I would change them. I'm guessing what happened was maybe they made a decision at some point when they didn't yet know exactly what the next, at the volume transition, like what the next thing was going to be, or what was going to be mostly in the next volume, and so they changed it to New World, and now it's been stuck on that. And if that holds up, it's probably just going to continue until almost the end of the series or something. Yeah, so I don't know. It's not under my control, unfortunately.
Yeah, Alexi has mentioned this. Yeah,
it's now the New Old World, or Old New World.
It's been the New World
They go back
forever.
to the Grand Line. It's just paradise.
It's been like 4 or 5 years, right? Since
About, yeah. Dressrosa was like 2 years, and Zoe's have been going on for like a half a year, and then the other part was like 2 years, right?
Ace died.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was too. I remember drawing a stupid reaction picture.
okay, stop making me feel
I
old,
can
please.
remember where
I was
I
gonna
was
say.
when I saw Ace die. God.
Gosh, you guys are
I
actual
remember
fetuses.
actually feeling bad.
What did you call them, Erin?
I am not that young.
Right.
I was in my senior
people-
year of college. Oh my god.
I already had
I'm-
graduated
I'm just-
college.
I'm just starting college.
We were doing the podcast,
no.
for God's sake.
Well,
Another one concerning English versions, and I guess here comparing with the Japanese versions. So we also got Alison here for this one. Comes from William, who said he just got the English version of Volume 77. And he was thinking, with the weekly chapters releasing the same day as Japan, why is there such a large gap between the English and Japanese graphic novels? I guess it's more for Steven. Surely it doesn't take that long to edit the sound effects.
I don't know how long the letter gets to do all the retouching stuff. I mean, I'm sure it does take a certain amount of time. I'm not going to downplay that at all. I don't really know why it is. I mean, there's a certain gap that no matter what is going to exist. At least 1 or 2 volumes, just because of how long it takes to put together a production book. And so, for example, all of the volume stuff like Oda's comments and the SBS things, like those can get put together in Japanese much, much closer to the finished product in the production process, because the Japanese publishers are much bigger companies as opposed to Viz, who, they have to go out to, someone else's printing press to print their books and stuff. And there's just a longer production period. So we can't get the stuff ahead of time from Japan the way that we do, getting the chapters a week early so that we can put them out on time weekly. It's a much different process. It takes a lot longer. But there is still a fairly long kind of period between when the book comes out in Japanese and when I am called to submit a final version of it with all the changes and everything. I don't really know what that is. I think maybe it's, I don't know. I really can't. I couldn't say. You'd have to ask Alexi, and who knows if he will tell you. He's a capricious guy.
I'm sure the sound effects take longer than you would think because they seem
Mm-hmm.
involved. I don't,
Yeah.
and I know the lettering stuff in general is not an easy thing either, and I think a lot of that gets corrected, and the SBSs I know take a little while, I'm sure.
Plus, the final volumes in Japan sometimes have like different text in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have to do when I go back through them, which is actually a really, really time-consuming process to go and double-check all the lines to make sure things haven't changed. And if they change, then it's like, okay, well, why did this get changed? How should I change the English version? And so on. And so, yeah, it can be actually quite a labor-intensive process.
And yet you have not gotten sick of this show.
Have you ever had to take out a pun because of that?
I don't think so. Like the last thing that I remember that was really significantly changed was he redid a lot of the dialogue for Doflamingo's flashback when he was a kid. So I'm not sure why. I think it was just for readability issues. But there was a lot of redone stuff, and he also kind of juggled around some of the text when Luffy went Gear 4 and was kind of exhibiting his powers on Doflamingo. So they happen from time to time. Most of the time there isn't any changes, but you got to be careful and watch out for that stuff.
Would your heart be broken if you had to take out a pun?
If it was a really good one, yeah. If it was a crappy one, then no.
Would your kokoro be brokoro?
Oh God.
Yes.
Next question comes from That Comic Nerd. Been thinking since it looks like the crew will get split again. I hope he is wrong, for the record. The team that ends up not going with Luffy, I don't think we'll see much of how the story develops with them, such as what happened in the time skip. We didn't really see what happened with the rest of the Straw Hats as much. He's basing his theory on what Greg said a while back, that the story is all from Luffy's point of view. This also reminds me personally. I think Greg mentioned that he predicted, I think, what happened in this. I don't know, Stephen, if he talked to you about this.
Yeah.
He had predicted what happened, I think, in this chapter.
He was doing some kind of brainstorming for one of his columns like a few months ago. I think it was like after 807 or something like that. And he was like putting together all these pieces of, okay, why is Jack here? Like, what does this mean? What does that mean? And I think he arrived at a conclusion that probably the Minks were actually harboring Raizo, and that they were actually allied in some way or friendly. So yeah, I saw he sent me that draft that he had. So I can vouch that yes, he did.
I think he said it on this show in episode 299 is what he was telling me. Yeah, so you could vouch for more than just that. Even though Steven's word, it's golden. We know that. But I think it was at around 2 hours or so in episode 299. I'll try and find the time code for that. That's a good episode otherwise, though. If you haven't listened to that, definitely give it a listen. But sorry, I got off track there.
What's 299? So it was like
no, I'm sorry, 399.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we went back in time.
399.
Oh, he's a time lord.
I forgot how many episodes I've done. 406. That's ridiculous. But the question was, do you think we're gonna? I'll just ask: do you think the crew's gonna split? And if so, will we follow Luffy?
I think it's heading in that direction.
Yeah, I said my theory at the end that I think they are going to stick together, and that the Minks and the Samurai are going to figure out what they are going to do separately.
Yeah, I can't see them breaking up again so soon.
I also just wouldn't want them. Yeah, I wouldn't want them either, but it's just there's a lot of build up to that, but it could just be another Mink thing, Mink and Raizo. So who knows with this arc?
Next question comes from Tony. I like this one. Given all the recent loyalty toward the Minks, what supporting cast, citizens, or featured in the story are your favorite and least favorite? So, for example, Tony says his favorites are the Minks and Galila, and his least favorite are the people of Dressrosa. So, like...
Minks and Galila?
I think Galila, he just means, like, all the people in the background who yell at the same time. and the minx, because
and
I thought he meant
one guy with hard
Gallivant
eyes
on the
like
cover
Polly.
page.
No, I think he means like not supporting cast. Well, maybe support. He says supporting cast and citizens. I guess background.
Kind of the mob.
The
Yeah.
mob. Which mob is your favorite?
Mine is the one guy with hard eyes that Polly. There's also another guy who does the same thing to Cavendish.
Cavendish had a lot of dudes going for him.
I know, right?
Yeah,
My
at
favorite
least a
is
few
the
of
one-
them. Polly had at least one.
My favorite is the one guy in Dressrosa who has that shirt that says, "Is that King Riku?" Because where did he get that shirt? Like, that is my favorite one.
Oh, the Kuma kids too.
Oh yeah.
Or not kids. Although there was that one joke with there were multiple kids, wasn't there? Like they were like clones or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
They all look really
yeah.
similar.
all the kids with the pointy heads.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's them. And
I also really
that
like-
one chapter where they're all together.
I also really like those 3 children in Fishman Island who were just like cheering on Luffy the entire time, even though their parents were like, "Yo, he's a human," but they were so cute. I love Fishman Island a lot.
They're the future. I think that's where that was going.
Aren't those the same kids who want a hero hat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which Jimbei is going to bring back.
I
hero hats.
Eventually.
I think those 3 kids probably will be somewhat prominently featured at the very, very, very end of the series as like a next generation. Yeah.
Yeah, the next
Them
gen.
and
Maybe
the
one of
kids
them
from
will
Punk
become
Hazard.
Yeah. Well, what if they join up and form a crew together?
Yeah, it'll be with the Captain Picard in the front. Anyway, sorry. Next one comes from Cadet Hat Sean, who says, still traversing through One Piece with my girlfriend. We've gone through Little Garden and are partway through Drum Island. Last night had some real gems, such as framing shots that made the figurehead of the Mary look like a bugged out eye of a T-Rex. A Finn
Oh,
and
I
Poe
remember
like
that.
conversation. Prepping myself for Chopper's backstory, which I had shown her before as a gateway to One Piece.
Oh.
Crying over Lopins, that's how you pronounce that, right? I'm
Lapin?
sorry, Lapin? Oh, no, Lupin.
Lupin the Third.
No, it's a bunch of clones of Lupin the Third that jump up and down in the snow.
And they all wear like bunny ears.
Yeah, well, okay, that's a good image too. Trying to dig their families out of the snow and zone fruits. So, what was one of your guys' favorite moments when introducing One Piece to a friend or loved one? Anyone want to take the reins here first?
Oh, I've got kind of a good one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I got really into One Piece when I was in college. I kind of became like a black hole of One Piece where I had to get all my friends to read it or they just couldn't talk to me anymore. And I remember sitting in my room with my friend, we'll call her D, and she was sitting behind me and I was at my computer and I had like forced her to start reading One Piece and we're like really quiet for a minute. And I just hear behind me like, and I was like, girl, what's up? And she's like, oh, I just got to Chopper's backstory and I just can't. And that was kind of like the defining moment for me. Like, yeah, she's in.
That's great. I have a kind of recent one. I've gotten my friends to start watching One Piece with me whenever I buy the new DVDs or something. And we watched the first part of the Shibauti arc, where it ends with Hachi getting shot, and Luffy punching the warlord, or not warlord, the
Tenryubito.
dragon.
Celestial
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah, him. And they were all like really emotionally invested in this, and then you could like hear them gasp and like clutch each other and staring at the screen with intensely, and they really wanted the next volume, but I didn't have it. It didn't come out yet. But yeah, that was one of my favorites. They really loved it when Luffy punched Charlos. They loved it.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, come on, yeah.
Who wouldn't punch her?
Yeah,
They
been
also watched
reading.
Chopper's backstory.
So good.
Jill, go ahead. Sorry.
I've been reading One Piece since Sanji's backstory in Shonen Jump back when it was printed, and I've been it's kind of become my gimmick with my friends in that they walk into a house, if they hear One Piece, they're like, "Oh, Jill's here. What's up, Jill?" Because I always have it marathoning on in the background, or if they just see me crying, they're like, "What happened in One Piece, Jill? Are you okay?" Um, so I've been like trying. I even wrote an editorial on trying to get your friends to read One Piece because it's taken over my entire life at this point.
I have no idea what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
So
I can
actually
sympathize.
I actually just send them pictures every so often of like, I'll be like, "Hey, have you read any this week?" They're like, "No, I'm still at this arc," and I'll just like send one a picture of Frankie, and I'll be like, "Yeah, but Frankie though." And I have a friend who's slowly making her way through, but she knows what happened. She doesn't mind spoilers at all. And I sat down and watched all of Law's flashback because we're gonna cosplay Corazon and Dofi, and she started sobbing. And it was like the day of an
Aw.
anime convention. We're 3 a.m. making outfits, and she's just crying her eyes out. And I was
Right,
like,
it is 3
I
a.m.
got her.
That's sad.
It's too late for old people like us, Zach.
I know. You're younger than me.
I think I'm the youngest one here.
Old people.
Alison or Steven, do you guys have a story you wanted to?
No, my girlfriend is a big manga and anime fan, but she has not yet read One Piece. I keep telling her, like, okay, I got all of them all. They're all here in Japanese and English. The library is open, but we'll see. She knows the main cast for the most part, so it's not like she's totally unfamiliar with the series, but she's never gone through it.
Alison?
I guess, well, I've been a fan since the anime first aired, but I've been like picking it up and dropping every now and then until I think 2011. Our first dog passed away, and both my mother and I were really depressed, and I just went up to her and like, let's watch One Piece. It's funny. It's what we need right now. But what I didn't know is that it was as we caught up, we were nearing Ace's death, and that was not very timely.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's not a very good for a pick me up.
No, but actually, it really resonated with us because of that. So even to this day, we watch it every week together.
That's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
My less touching story. I'm in the same boat as Steven, I think, although my fiance is not is a manga fan, but she said she would read it if I read Harry Potter, and I'm almost done with the 4th book of Harry Potter, and she hasn't started yet, so I have to start bothering the hell out of her. She's at school right now is the excuse I'm getting, but I mean, probably should.
So speaking of, what do you have any opinions on Harry Potter so far?
Each book has been significantly better than the previous one, except I think I like 3 a little more than 4 so far, but I'm not done yet, so I don't know.
What house
Yeah.
did you read?
6 is
Third one's
6
great.
gets kind of weird.
I heard the 5th one wasn't as good.
Well, the 5th one is Rowling accidentally wrote a plot hole, so she spent like half the book fixing the plot hole.
Yeah.
No one knows what the plot hole is, but apparently she does.
She does that a lot, though.
So-
I think she's definitely a much better writer by the time where I am now. You could tell she was writing, I think, to a different audience in the first book too. She's writing to a much younger crowd.
Yeah, well, they're all growing
First
up.
one's
with the
actually my
books.
favorite.
I see a lot of parallels with One Piece too.
Yeah.
There's a Stelly in it, so that's good, I guess.
Oh
Are
my
you
god, I can't
talking about
unsee that
Draco?
now.
Or-
Oh my god.
The Dursley kid.
okay.
Oh. I
Who
was
were-
thinking of Draco, and I just couldn't stop thinking about
I mean
that
that
for a minute.
too. There's a lot of kids like that. They're
Drelly?
Drelly, yeah. There are a lot of I think Oda does a better job with gray area characters, and I might be a little spoiled with that because I think Harry Potter has a lot more black and white in it. Though I think she gets better as it goes with that too.
She is. I think that there's a very strong similarity between Oda and Rowling in their ability to create a compelling world. Like there's just tons of stuff that connects together in really satisfying ways.
I know that's what I like, so I'm enjoying that part of it. I like and the fourth book starts doing that more. There's a bigger world, so I'm digging that. And I
Any
hope to
favorite
see more.
characters?
You asked me that before. I said Hermione.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, well, that was like in the first or second book. You asked me that. I don't know.
That was me, Zach.
Oh.
God.
Oh, well, I don't remember who asked that.
Don't mix your ladies up, Zach.
I'm gonna run away.
Well, Hermione's also my favorite, so.
No, I wasn't trying to say that to be facetious. I'm trying to think if that's still the case. I think it is. Ron is a little annoying. And he's a real douche. Everyone's a douchebag to Hermione in the first book. I mean,
wow. They're 11.
They're children.
No, they're like real douchebags for no reason.
Well, they're 11. Every 11-year-old is a douchebag. I work at a candy store.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah, I remember that very well. I remember hitting people with my lunchbox because they wouldn't stop doing that.
The thing is, right now, I think
the boy until he told me the fuck word.
I really like I like the most recent two dark arts teachers. But I need to finish this one before I reserve judgment.
Wait, which one are you on?
The fourth one.
Oh.
So Lupin the Third, obviously. I'm so far
Lupin's
from what I've
great.
read.
The next one, prepare yourself. You will feel very frustrated.
Oh, well, that's what I heard. So I'm already prepped. All right, we should probably move on before I get yelled at. I could talk about this longer, but there's a bunch of those already, actually.
OPHP.
All right, next one comes from Connor, who said, "What is the most recent instance the manga has made you cry?"
This chapter?
Honestly, I think it was like during Dressrosa. I can't even remember when it was. It's just been I don't know, One Piece hasn't been making me too emotional lately.
Yeah, me neither. I'm trying to I don't remember
how long ago did we sorry.
No, go ahead.
Let's say, how long ago did we record us going through the manga? Because that's how long ago it took me to cry. I had to turn off my mic there for a bit.
That was a little while. Oh, that was like 10 minutes ago. No, that was way more than that.
Yeah. I mean, there's like whenever I read Ace's death, it always makes me cry, but not because I feel bad for Ace, but because I feel bad for Luffy.
That didn't make me cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that always makes me cry, but it's nothing recently has really made me cry.
Yeah, I can't think of the last time.
Maybe
cry a lot.
the Corazon flashback.
Which
Corazon, maybe?
Corazon's flashback.
Yeah. I think I teared definitely a little bit. I think the part, and Ed mentions this, I think, as his last time he cried, when he confesses that you're the one who's been in pain this whole time, and he's crying over it.
Yeah. I think that didn't, yeah.
Which the more I think about it, the sadder it is.
Well, there was that one scene with the doctors are like calling Law like these horrible names, and Corazon has this shocked face on, and then he burns down the hospital.
I love him.
So yeah, I think that scene did make me tear up, but it's been a long time since it made me like full out sob.
Any other?
In Japan, they released a compilation of tearjerker scenes into this big fat book.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys have, and I don't know if there are any plans to have it released in English, but they picked out the best scenes. Like just open any chapter, you're gonna cry. I still can't get through that book. I
remember there was like a few years ago they had some poll in Japan where like they ranked the most tearjerker scenes, and I'm pretty sure that Mary's death topped Ace's death in that poll as the number one and the number two.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that
swear to
book
God.
definitely had Mary's scene, and I think that's where I stopped. I can't get past it.
That'd be a great
Yeah.
drinking game. I'm gonna buy that book
Yeah.
and a bottle of vodka.
And
And go from there.
But then,
You're gonna die.
you're gonna die. You're gonna die.
but then you would just end
Well-
up like drunk and crying, and
Well-
nobody likes that.
That's what I do.
Well,
I
here's
turn
a
on
diff-
One Piece, I drink wine, and I get drunk and cry.
It's the American way.
Here's a different drinking
I
game.
need to try that.
Drink every time someone cries. Not you, one of the characters.
Oof.
Oh
I
gosh.
just watched the Arlong
Ooh.
arc. I'd still die.
that one's pretty bad. Steven, we have
Yeah.
Reddit questions. You want to go through those?
Sure. Let's start with Dubiono, who says, I feel like the piece together needs more of an SBS influence here. So, Zach, if you have host powers, can your penis host too? I'm not sure who he's talking about. There's only Xenon.
I mean, Xenon doesn't
Yeah, we
have
don't
a
have
dick,
any
so
Zach
I think
here.
we're okay.
They're right about that.
But he has a serious question for me. Has Viz ever considered doing a printed run of the colored pages of One Piece? If a run like that was ever attempted, could it be a chance to fix all former translation issues like Zolo/Zoro? I'm guessing that when he says colored pages, he's not referring to just the actual
box.
color pages, but the digitally colored ones that
Yeah.
they are
That would
Yeah.
wouldn't
putting
that be
out.
really expensive?
Well, they did it for DBZ, right?
Yeah, they did it for Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but
I
like
don't see
that's
that
more popular
happening.
here.
Yeah.
Well, they have a
Um,
colored version that's coming out from Jump Plus. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone. And if they could just use that and reprint it, and if there's enough demand for something like that, that would be the time to fix the Zoro specifically. I think they've said
Yeah.
if
I think
go ahead.
I think it'll take a few more years before One Piece becomes popular enough to gain that sort of treatment. I mean, it's way more popular than it was when all this started, but it's still not that popular.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
No,
At conventions, you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mhm.
it's just not that
Yeah.
crazy popular that everything else has.
No, I don't see it. It's also just too long for them to sell another version of it colored. Like it's too big of a purchase to get people to double dip on that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it'd be a really tough sell.
Next question.
Next is from Gentleman Bastard 12, who says, "Hey Zach, I just wanted to let you know that I like your theories. Okay, no, not really. Also,
Wow.
you guys
Again.
have got it." Just owned you really
is
hard
this,
there.
Zach?
You guys,
You're saving me this week.
you guys have got it completely wrong. Sanji won't get a dick in a box. He'll give Big Mom a taste of his famous spotted dick. Big Mom will be so
Oh my
impressed
God.
by its size and
Wait.
taste that she'll just keep asking for more, and Sanji will keep giving it to her until she's satisfied.
Wait,
Um,
shouldn't his dick be
but that-
curly?
No, isn't that an actual?
Oh no.
You
For
can't
those of
destroy
you that
women's
don't know,
dreams like that.
for those of you that don't
My
know,
head
spotted dick
hurts.
is a British pudding which would be perfect for tea parties.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Get out of my head.
Maybe we should move on
next
to the next
is from-
question.
Yeah, next is from Otters82, who says, "What would each Straw Hats or any other character of interest presidential platform be?"
Oh, this is fun.
I'm going to be king of the pirates.
Who would that have
Yeah.
been?
King of the presidents. No, I'm gonna be king of the presidents.
Frankie's decree would be no pants allowed. I think
No,
that's-
the no participation proclamation. That's a joke from Gravity Falls.
We would have to go with for Sanji. All women must wear miniskirts, and
Oh,
boy
God.
Mustang is clear.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that was a Mustang joke.
Yeah.
I guess Usopp's platform would just be like any other politician because he's just lying out of his ass the whole time.
I don't know. I think I
Funny.
trust Usopp a little more.
I think Usopp has the best chance of winning the nomination, if you ask me.
But Zoro he'd get lost. He wouldn't even get to the podium.
I demand more road signs.
Here's Zoro.
They're already... what about Robin?
Truth, just uncovering truth. I don't know. I can't think of any.
It's just her. It's just the Obama poster with truth on it.
Brooke is just an old dude playing music.
Well, Brooke is like a musician running for president, I guess. Like an old retired musician.
Would Nami tax people more or no taxes? Which way would that go?
No, she taxes.
She would tax people more and take all the money.
Definitely.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to be Arlong.
She'd be a dictator. Yeah. I mean, come on, let's be honest here. She wouldn't discriminate who she dictates, but everyone's giving her money. That's.
I feel like she's not a straw hat, but if Hancock were to run for president, her whole platform would be "Vote for me because I'm beautiful."
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
it's true.
And my first lady Luffy. And he's like, "What?"
Oh, that's great.
First boy
I don't think
toy.
he'd care.
First boy toy, Luffy.
He'd just be off to the side eating meat and like, huh? What that buggy face?
Our next question is from our very own Chow, who I think, as we mentioned in the manga recap itself, he points out that Kogetsu is written with the characters for light and moon, which when reversed becomes Gekko, or moonlight. And so he asks, how do you think the Kogetsu clan ties into Zack's moon theory, and what sort of relationship might Moria have with the people of Wano?
I don't know.
Yeah, Chow mentioned this to me because, oh God, I can't remember the name of the race or something, but something about neck or something.
The snake necks.
And how Moria... Snake necks, and how Moria might be one of them. It was just something like that.
Well, I guess if you reverse Kogetsu, he said it's geckos, so maybe they're the opposite of the snake necks. I don't really know, like... but they kind of mean the same exact thing, right? Like moonlight and light moon. Maybe it's just a light moon versus a moon. I don't know. Maybe one is like the reflection versus the actual moon. I don't know. I don't speak Japanese. as many of you may have figured out by this point.
No.
How it ties into the...
It could be like...
Go ahead,
the moonlight thing might tie into, like, how... was it... Dogstorm and Cat Viper rule, one during daylight and one during moonlight? The split kingdom thing?
It may explain why there is a split and why they decided to do it that way. Although, I mean, just dogs are sleepier. That makes sense.
I don't know. Trust me, cats sleep a lot.
Sleepy.
They're both very sleepy.
And she was sleeping right now. Oh, hello, Pudding.
Okay, you gotta get Sanji's future wife off your lap.
Well, she moved off it. Now she's trying to move back on it.
Ooh, thirsty.
What's the next question?
Our next question from Super Dubes says, so under the assumption that a Vins is equal to one rack of ribs and the situation is a post-arc party, how many Vins would a Vin smoke if a Vin smoke could smoke Vins?
Yes.
7.
7. There it is.
That's the right answer.
Oh, no, 3.
No, I'm sorry.
Sanji.
That's
I've been thinking of that answer for like 20 minutes as I looked at it.
It could be, I don't know, it could be 11.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Oh, well, I guess it depends how good they are. Smoking Vins. Some people just have that tolerance. They can't do it. They keep coughing. Doesn't work.
This is the weirdest
Vin
piece
11.
together segment. No, that's not true at all.
Next.
Go ahead, Steven.
Our next is from Black Northwind, Distant Future Theory. Weevil will attack the Straw Hats after they defeat Kaido, similar to the Thriller Bark ending, and when Boom, Crocodile shows up, defeats Weevil, and proposes an alliance to beat Blackbeard.
Cool. No. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Sadly, Weevil has been like shown too much to like be kicked off that easy.
I don't like Weevil. I'm sorry. So all the theories I see about
Yeah.
him, I'll just dismiss offhand because he annoys me.
My
Weevil reminds me of
favorite
that one
theory.
character from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Over my head.
With the same name.
Yeah. No, I full on
Yeah.
believe that Weevil was made with the corpse of Whitebeard. Until we see
What?
the grave no longer untouched, I think she sewed him together using Whitebeard's flesh.
Oh
What?
God.
Jesus.
But
Why?
Are you okay? You're either suggesting that she's a necromancer or she's somehow working with Maria.
Yeah.
I don't know. She seems pretty damn evil.
So you're saying she's a necromancer?
Difference between evil and annoying.
Like he looks all stitched up, and she says he's like of the blood of Whitebeard. I honest to God think that he's like a fucking Frankenstein.
You'll never hear me
Monster.
say this again, but I think it's more likely that he's Bonnie. Personally.
What? No, he's Bonnie's
There we
brother.
go.
Secret twin brother.
So yeah, he's Bonnie's secret twin brother. They both are
Right.
very similar.
She's Bonnie's sister.
They have the same hair color in the manga, which is white.
Our next, also from Black Northwind, has an idea. Could Jack perhaps appear in Big Mom's Tea Party? I actually kind of like that idea.
Well, that
It's
could be
kinda crazy.
interesting. That'd be an interesting way to
Mhm.
tie the arcs together.
Yeah.
I want to see a mammoth trying to sip tea using the trunk to hold the teacup.
I want to when I
That's
see
what I
Jack
want.
when I see Jack again, I want him to look messed up because he's clearly been defeated. So that's going to be interesting too.
But what if he's the zombie?
What if he's the zombie?
Everyone's actually just dead the whole time.
Yeah, everyone's dead.
Look, this isn't Naruto.
Let's talk those zombies back to death. That'll
Yeah.
work.
Well, those zombies are boring. I don't know how he did it, but he made a zombie war boring.
I don't know. I didn't read that part. I'm just speaking out of my
That's
ass
where I
right now.
stopped reading.
Yeah.
Literally that
I,
chapter.
I read it only through nostalgia. Like, the only reason I read Naruto to the end was because I had nostalgic feelings towards it. It was
fun
awful.
fact, before I got assigned to work on One Piece week to week, there is a brief period where the Naruto translator was going to be busy with something else for like, I don't know, a few months or something like that. And so I was potentially going to have to step in and be a pinch hitter on that. And it was right at that arc, I believe, because everyone, I don't actually read Naruto, but everyone was saying it's like all the villains have come back from the dead or something like that. So apparently I
Yeah,
lucked
and
out.
they didn't do much.
What's the next question?
Next question. Since there's no chapter next week, this is from John Gargia. Are you planning on doing a top 5? What topic would you cover?
Not sure yet because we're going to be recording that episode, I think, live in DC. So I want to talk with the guys a little more about what we'll be doing.
Top 5 colors.
Top 5 colors?
Love it.
Yes.
You know, I'm colorblind. This is very insensitive.
Yes.
Well, you'll have not as many options to choose from. It should be easy.
When you make a good point, you make a good point.
All right. Next from Straw Hat Luffy says,
hi,
hey
Luffy.
guys, my question is for Steven. How did you learn Japanese, and do you or have you translated other manga series? Also, Steve, your Finn Balor artwork was awesome. Thanks for making this podcast. Well, my name is Stephanie, but I did learn Japanese, and I do and have translated other manga series. It's what I do for a job, so I do it all the time, every day, for hours and hours on end.
They asked how you learned
Oh,
Japanese, not just the simple fact that you have learned it.
How did I learn it? I took a lot of classes at school, and then I studied it on my own after that.
Have you ever visited Japan?
Yes, I was in Yokohama for 3 weeks on a student exchange when I was in high school, but I haven't been back since, and that was before I was actually very good at all with the language, so it was kind of a waste in certain ways, because like I had to speak English to my student who was hosting me. So that's my experience.
Go back, Stephen. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, I know. I should.
Now that you
Now
actually know
I'm just like,
Japanese.
too busy. Yeah.
Busy with what? You can't. I don't see anything you're busy with.
Busy translating One Piece or Japanese stuff to go to Japan.
Oh, that's easy.
OPP2 featuring Steven.
No, that would be the plan.
I'll just be I'll just have like one of those walk around laptop desks. I'm just going to be typing the whole time.
like in
Get on a
Sketches.
Segway.
A segue, yes.
Actually, Steven, do you get the chance to speak
Stephanie?
Japanese at work at all?
No, I've used it a few times. My speaking would be terrible, just because I don't practice it at all the same way that I do with reading and listening. Yeah, I don't get to speak it with people very much. Pretty much just when I go to cons, if there are actual Japanese guests there, if I happen to be around them, I've had a few short conversations, but that's basically the extent of how much I get to use it.
Do you ever speak to Greg in Japanese? I don't know how I've never asked you that question.
No.
It's kind of weird being two foreigners and like speaking in Japanese to each other when you both
Right,
speak English natively.
exactly.
Well, I don't speak a second language, so like I don't know. Like I wish I did, but
The etiquette.
I don't. Well, I feel like if I had a friend that spoke another language, I'd be speaking that language with him all the time, so no one else around me knew what I was saying.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
kind of
always
a
try to do
douchebag
it.
thing.
Well, I mean, I was.
Yeah, that's just called being an asshole.
that was
You
the
could always
joke
try
I was
mirror
making
writing.
there. Yeah. I don't know.
I once did that.
Go ahead.
I
Steven.
wrote all my notes in mirror writing.
No, a long time ago, when I was in my early 20s, I was for a few years, I was in a band, and the other guitar player was a Japanese American, where he grew up speaking Japanese at home, and he spoke English as a second language. And we went on a brief tour once where we were driving, and we didn't have a huge van, so we were in two different cars. And so the other two guys were in the van, and I was riding in his pickup truck. And apparently they were wondering, because they didn't realize how ridiculous it sounded, like, oh, I wonder if they're just like reverting to their more comfortable tongue over in the other car. And I was like, no, we both speak English. Why would we talk Japanese to each other? So
Yeah,
it's a little
it's
weird.
interesting to know. Yeah. All right, what's next?
So back to the piece together. Zephyr7 asks, favorite warlord, past or present?
How's that
Crocodile.
for consistency?
Weevil, he's the best.
Oh my god, get out.
Dofi, I love that pink flamingo bastard.
I really like Mihawk because it's probably the closest thing I'm ever going to get to a vampire in One Piece.
Don't say that yet.
Yeah,
It could always happen.
Didn't we have that bat zombie thing?
Well,
never mind.
that was a zombie. You know, we've had like cyborgs, angels, demons, zombies, fishmen, mermen, dragons, long neck, long leg. We should have a vampire.
Any other favorite warlords? Alison,
I really
Sai,
like-
Stephen. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I said mine.
Mihawk's a really good one, but I think I have to go with Crocodile. I think he was just such an influential character upon that kind of category of characters that I think he stands tall.
Yeah. He's also really interesting because his dream mimics Luffy's. He's like a parallel to Luffy.
So is
Like,
Doflamingo in a way. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they're like really good
but
foils.
yeah. It's just that like it seems like Crocodile's thing mirrors Luffy more than Dofi's does. Like his dream and all that.
Yeah, it's in different ways. Like Crocodile's entire like past, his like the fact that he had a dream to be the pirate king, he got crushed, and
Yeah.
like Luffy did, and instead of getting back up, he just kind of like sunk down into like becoming evil. While Dopey's is more like his position of power and the way he treats his crew as like tools rather than like crewmates, even though they're so devoted to him. So they're foils for different reasons.
Yeah, Morio is also a foil to Luffy. Again with the Morio warned Luffy that he would lose all his crew in the New World, and that ended up happening. So, and then Morio goes on this emotional, evil rant right before Luffy beats him about that. So that was paralleling him after Ace's death, and yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about
that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts, favorite warlord? I'm thinking.
You mentioned Hancock.
No one gives a shit about Buggy, apparently.
Oh
does
man,
Buggy even
love
count?
Buggy.
I was gonna say Kuma.
Does Buggy even count?
Blackbeard.
I love Kuma. No, he was like a warlord for like a week.
Next question, Steven.
Next is from Pepsi Shake, who says, on the topic of Raizo's location, one of my theories is either within the whale forest tree, I guess that would just be the whale tree, or within Zunisha, the elephant island itself, kind of like Laboon. Ew. I don't think we have seen the full development of how Oda wants to use this interesting island in the story. My counter to that is, would a samurai like Raizo allow a nation to be tortured rather than turn himself over? Plus, too similar to Laboon, thus making me believe he is somewhere else. Any thoughts or theories?
So when the elephant was first revealed, the look on its face, the first thing I thought of was, this thing is dead already. So I had this weird theory. I thought the Laboon thing was one of the things I first thought of. I thought that to get up there, they used an elevator through its leg, but also that they had built catacombs and stuff, because it's such a waste just to be on its back. Also, I thought maybe it was motorized because I thought it was dead.
It looked like it had skyscrapers at the top too when we first saw it. It was like, oh, maybe this is the first real modern city we're gonna see, and it'll be filled with animals, which would have been this cool kind of juxtaposition. But go on, sorry.
Yeah, I also thought it was super creepy at first, the way that its eyes were all dark and dead. It kind of looks like the what is it called, the Mouse of Minx from American Tail, the Don Bluth movie from the 80s.
Oh yeah,
super creepy.
I didn't think of that.
I think Raizo's a ninja, not a samurai, so we still don't quite know how the pride and etiquette goes along with that in the One Piece world. But if Raizo had some kind of information, I think it's supposed to be that you would, if you're I'm just going off manga, I'm gonna be real with you guys, that if a ninja has some kind of good information or something, they would allow other people to be tortured rather than turn it over. They would rather have them tortured or other people than turn over the information if it was vital.
Yeah. Maybe maybe the information Raizo had would have doomed Wano or something, if he was given over. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just thinking that, this person is asking, would Raizo's pride get in the way of allowing other people to be tortured for him? But I don't think that really matters when it comes more down to the Minx pride, and they would never give him up, even if it killed them. So I think that their pride as Minx outweighs his pride as a ninja.
Maybe Raizo didn't even know what was going on. He was
that's possible.
Maybe he's in a chamber somewhere, away from everything.
In the elephant.
In a hyperbolic time chamber.
Look, Steven, don't spoil this for me.
Maybe that's what's inside the elephant.
What's next? Yeah.
Next is from the one Poneglyph, saying he just got an email saying that panel registration for AX has begun. Get on it.
I will. Otakon also just happened, so I'll get on that. Also, as a quick note, if you want us at your convention, please tell the convention. We've already had some responses from you guys doing that, so that's the best way to get us there. Keep going though.
Cool. He also says that surprised Zoro face. I wonder if Raizo will have the same adverse reaction that Kinemon had when he saw Zoro with Shusui. And finally, it's about damn time Oda saw The Force Awakens.
We mentioned a lot of that on the show in the recap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree with all that. That Zoro face was surprising. Go ahead.
Swordmaster 21, what genres of music would you associate with each of the Straw Hat crew? Also, do you believe important but not Straw Hat centric events like the Reverie or the Blackbeard versus Revolutionaries fight will be shown more than just a few chapters or be glimpsed at like the Bonaro incident?
I'd say the latter for the second question.
But Reverie. I feel like Reverie is going to take... Oh, wait. I'm really stupid and they just showed it. That I think Reverie is going to be shown for a little bit. Like a few chapters.
I don't think it'll be more than like we saw the stuff that happened in Volume 25, and I think that was in Marine first.
But that was a few chapters, right? Wasn't that like 2 or 3?
Vivi's in there. So, I don't know. That's feel true. Like it's going to be so central to what's going to happen. I mean, so was the Bonaro, but that was more like a hint, like the reason why I think things are going to happen at the Reverie that are going to be very important.
And who knows when we're going to see this? I mean, time's been moving kind of slow since we've entered the new world, so the Reverie may not happen until the end stuff here. I think we're going to have Kaido and Big Mom happen before the Reverie. Personally, I think it's a far off thing. Probably fortunately, because there's probably going to tie together some cool things. I think
the Reverie is obviously important.
Yeah, I think Luffy is going to be at the top of the agenda because I don't think we'd have a reason to see it if he wasn't.
I still hope that they crash land there somehow.
like
oh my
a
God,
Marine
please.
Landing on Wapol. Yeah, landing on Wapol.
That'd be amazing.
But Wapol accidentally has his mouth open and eats them.
No, I don't think his mouth's that big.
Oh, it is.
And then all the Straw Hats fuse together.
No, they're just standing on each other's shoulders.
Hey, now we know. Now we know how what was it? Cat Viper and Darkstrom confuse.
There you go.
CatDog, exactly.
Oh my God.
I'm not letting this die.
Why not?
Because.
Steven. Oh, should we answer the other? Whatever, yeah, just.
We still got some more to go. F Blue says, if you look at Jack's henchmen, you'll notice they are wearing what looks like a combination of Caesar's goons' hazmat suits and Celestial Dragon's spacesuits. Also, that one guy's sheep's head's horns are sticking through the helmet as if it were a Sabaody bubble. Does this lend any clues to Jack or Kaido's allegiances? It's interesting.
I think it's only Caesar's allegiances because it's the exact same suit that Caesar had. I don't know.
Maybe the sheep people are all loyal to Kaido or something.
Caesar
has those.
You mean the toad goats?
Like Caesar has those horns? Yeah. I mean, Caesar has those horns and we don't know why.
Well, maybe they all took some sad. Or smile, I'm sorry. They all had a sad smile. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just move on. Wets22 says, hey guys, I'm really enjoying Zoe to this point. This latest chapter is the first time in years that I welled up and felt any sort of empathy and care for characters because I think he means I couldn't care less about Rebecca and her dad's story arc. With that being said, I wondered if any of you felt the same or when you last felt that way about a One Piece chapter. I think we kind of talked about this, right?
I'll just add one thing.
I'll
go ahead.
I feel kind of left out. I really like Rebecca.
Oh, same. Just Us is my favorite arc. Come on, Wets 22.
Chill, you got a lot of flack for that when we did the rankings.
I do not care. Fight me, nerds. I will take you all on at the same time.
You're talking to the podcast members too.
No, the guy asked me if he wanted to go out after I did that, so clearly something's working.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I would have, if it was possible, I would have punched him.
Wait, go out in a good way or a bad way?
No, go out as if he wanted to meet me at a hotel.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, punch him.
Yeah, that kind of go out.
Oh,
so
like DTF, but without the feast.
which is boring.
But without the feast.
I'm always down to feast.
What was I even gonna say?
Okay.
What was the question?
I'm just gonna chime in and say that I also felt nothing for Rebecca or her father, but that this chapter did kind of hit me really hard. I think because in Zoe we've seen some acts of cruelty that we really have not seen thus far in the series. I actually remember, I can't remember what chapter it was, but where we first saw Jack's men sort of going and just stabbing the minks as they were laying on the ground. And that really got to me. It kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones in a way, with just like that level of brutality. And then in this chapter, in this chapter, to see that they endured all of that, not just because Raizo actually wasn't there, but for their friends. It really hit me.
The one little thing I was going to add is the other reason that I feel a little more empathy is because it's animals. I mean, come on.
Mm.
Right? Who doesn't love animals? Even if they're half people. So, come on.
All right.
Go ahead.
Our next comment from Starboy35 Ticos. I think that's how you say that. Hello, guys. First time submitting a question. How would you feel if Sanji and the woman he is supposed to marry do become a thing and escape to join the crew? Do you think she would be useful to the crew? Do you think it would just be nice to have another lady around? Anyway, take care and thanks for being awesome. P.S. Luffy and Bonnie new OTP.
I think he needs to stay away from my
more
cat.
ladies.
I was gonna say, why don't we ask her? She's right there, Sai.
Well, actually, I brought my dog in, and Pudding ran away.
Well, we had a chance to ask, and now it's gone.
Yeah, they were kind of going at it a little.
I've never heard of cats and dogs going at it before.
Pudding got a little intimidated. Pudding got a little imitated by Pepper, or intimidated, yeah.
Well, Zach, how do you think you make a cat dog?
Okay, well, why don't we go to the next question?
It's just science.
Anyway,
well,
I would like to answer this question.
We never saw their parents in the series. We never saw their parents.
Weren't they abandoned?
Yeah, well, they have adopted parents that they find in the movie or something. I don't know why I remember this.
The CatDog film, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Stars.
There was a CatDog film?
Yeah, there was a movie, and it was about them finding their parents. I don't know why I remember this, but I do.
Did anyone have a serious answer to this question?
I do.
Thank you, Stephen.
Didn't you mean Stephanie?
Okay. Stephanie, yes. As much as I would like to see another girl join the crew, and I'm still kind of holding out for another girl, I would really hate to see her come on the crew as Sanji's wife. I think that would be weird. It would be a weird dynamic that Oda just hasn't dealt with so far, and I don't think he would be able to handle well, considering like the only marriage we've seen so far is Kyros and Scarlet, and that didn't end well. So I wouldn't want to see that again.
Unless you count Sai and Boo. Not me, Sai.
Yeah, and even that is sort of...
You mean Saya Baby
great.
5?
Yeah.
Because otherwise some laws are getting broken right there. That's that's a little incestuous. It's a little bit.
But I also
Baby
think
5
just
inside.
from like a pure marketing standpoint, it would be kind of brand suicide to stick a character officially with another character, because a lot of the merchandise sort of banks on not like imply that character, but like fan service, like, ooh, Sanji's next to Nami, ooh, Sanji's next to Zoro, ooh, what are we doing here?
Oh, Luffy's a woman now and doesn't have a shirt on.
Oh, God, that one.
Gosh.
Oh, God.
I've got that men.
I drew my own
One
version
Piece
of Luffy
calendar
code
in front of me.
There's a Men of One Piece.
Oh yeah,
calendar?
there's a shameless fan service calendar of just men shirtless.
It's beautiful. This is Mihawk's month.
It's real.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
I think there's Mihawk, there's Smoker, there's Shanks, there's who
Why
else?
did I look
There's
this up
Whitebeard
just
is
now?
October. Whitebeard is October.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but do they have
like
Caesar?
weird.
Oh god.
No. They have Marco and Barto.
Yeah. Yeah, they have Bartolomeo.
Oh,
Sanji's
Jesus.
kicking,
It's
but
amazing.
it's just his crotch.
All the 12 packs. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
mean
for
it's
this
kind of
question,
creepy, but it's also
It was implied though. Go
no, for
ahead.
this for this question, I think I don't want a woman to join just as like a wife because A, that bothers me so much. B, no one's gonna get married of the main crew in One Piece. As much as I have descended into Law Lu hell, it's not going to happen, and I understand that. But also, the question is like, do you think she would be useful to the crew? Luffy doesn't ask people to the crew if he thinks they're gonna be useful. He asked a damn tree. Luffy doesn't care. He just wants them to.
That
like,
was a pretty
be
cool
part of the-
tree.
He didn't.
well, he also asked
already
a
said,
guy
like, oh,
stuck in a chest.
Yeah, that's true too.
yeah. I mean, he doesn't care if they're useful. He already asked if she was gonna join the crew. Like, he doesn't even care what they're like. He just thinks they're cool and wants them to join and stuff like that. The idea that, especially, it's kind of weird with like, I understand. I don't think this person's sexist. But when someone always asks like, do you think she would be useful? Or it's always makes me think, or like, oh, or do you think she's gonna be some simpering woman? And it's just, I don't.
Preach.
Yeah, I just think like it doesn't matter. We need a woman on the crew, I think, if we're getting a new crew member who's not Jinbei, but I love Jinbei, so there we go. But I don't think her usefulness is what should come into question. It's how well they fit with the crew.
Maybe even Koff and
Yeah.
Jinbei are going to come into contact, and then we'll have our new female crew member.
Yes.
long
Oh,
as she's
Jinbei
not,
did look really
like,
cute as a woman
sexy.
in that one picture.
Well, that's the thing that's been
Okay.
annoying me a little more because the gold designs were coming out, and like I don't look. Robin is sexy in her own way, but it's like okay, you're wearing the thing with the jeans and it's like
That's the same thing Nami wore in Strong World, isn't it? Those jeans.
yeah, but not with like she was wearing a leather thing on top of it too. I feel like
With
that's
the gold designs?
yeah,
She has
Oh,
like the
the
shorts
film
with the
gold
chaps
design?
over
You mean
them?
the stripper outfits?
yes. I guess they're really stripper outfits for everyone. Though.
Yeah.
Oh. They're stripper outfits because Frankie's shoulders have they have zippers. He can take off his sleeves. This is a Vegas thing. They're going to a strip club.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Sanji's gonna
God.
die.
They are going to a casino. Actually, this is starting to really come together for me. Okay.
Well, unless they go to a male strip club.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Magic
Never
Mike,
mind.
One Piece style.
Well, they could each go to their respective strip clubs of whoever they prefer, and that's
They
fine.
can have a strip club with men and women. Bisexuals exist.
Yeah.
But do
That's fact.
bisexual strip clubs
does
exist?
Oda know? Does Oda know bisexuals exist?
Also, good question. These
He
are
has
all
even
real
cop.
questions. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. That's a whole different, like, also, like, even Kov, the person who it was based off of is based on, like, a whole Japanese subcultural thing, if I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Oda's an enigma. What's the next question, Steven?
Next is from Don Quixote. Says, what would you like to see in the eventual Don Quixote family cover story?
Oh man, that's
I
my
think-
dream. Oh god.
Snow cone.
You're going to get a lot of people
That-
down to feast, Jill. She's appealing to the Dressrosa crowd out there.
Oh man, you guys, Dressrosa fans, hit me up. You want to get coffee? Let's do it. I don't give a shit.
I mean, I like Dressrosa, but I also really don't like the Don Quixote family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They all
You
kind of
killed
creep
me.
me out.
I
sorry.
want to see
Go
Baby Five's marriage with Law giving her away because he's the
Law?
only one of her family left.
Well, he's
I
already
swear.
left.
I don't care.
So
Somehow,
does he come back?
yes, I don't care. I don't know.
He'll
maybe
be like,
just, a
guys,
cover
just
page.
wait on Zoe.
Or do
He's
they
like,
like,
"Wait, I'll be back.
or does like Dofi make a string clone of himself just for this occasion?
Yes. all of that. Just yes, I don't even care. But I think there's so many possibilities with them. I mean, it's really interesting because it's not like I wrote another editorial about the differences between Crocodile and Doflamingo. And Dofi's crew was so dedicated to him. It's not like Crocodile where they were just separate entities that at the end had their own dreams and stuff. These people, like some of them, Monet and Sugar, they were basically from children. And I mean, freaking Dellinger as a baby were raised with Doflamingo with his like dreams as their dream. So it'd be very interesting for me to see where they go in the future, having to actually like just build themselves up after this, being separate individuals.
Yeah,
really
I remember a while ago I wrote this whole thing contrasting Crocodile's group and Doflamingo's. And Doflamingo's was like really toxic because they all lived and died for Doflamingo. They had like no self-interest whatsoever. It's kind of creepy when you break it down like that. But with Crocodiles though, they did break him out of prison. They didn't have to, but they still did that.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting contrast. Hell, they didn't even know who he was before Utopia happened.
Right?
Forgot that was the name of
You
it.
thought Sanji was Mr. 3. Mr. Prince, I'm sorry.
Well, I think they thought he was also
well,
Mr.
he could
3.
be Mr. 3.
No, I think they thought he was Mr. 3.
Yeah, when he called on the Denden Mushi, and that's how they got the paternal post to Alabasta.
Was there a pun there, though? Like, maybe he said, no, it's San, and then he, wait a second. Yes.
No.
That'd be funny.
No,
he said, is that you, Mr. 3?
Yeah.
Speaking of, I think the level in Impel Down that Mr. 3 was on was the Starvation Hell. And that to get into that hell was you had to have Sanji's bounty, or about up to there.
Oh.
So that's kind of messed up.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember, yeah.
Interesting. Steven, next question. Let's get through these Reddit.
Amiibo Hunter says, since we know Oda is a fan of Game of Thrones, do you think the design of Kaido was influenced by Khal Drogo? I think they share a lot of similarities in their designs and probably attitudes towards battle.
Yes.
Could be.
Maybe?
Sure.
I think we needed Greg on this one for to answer that. Except Greg's on. Ask that question again. I'm sure there could be a long dissertation. I'm sorry. I'm going to read Game of Thrones after Harry Potter, so I'll be able to...
It's really good.
Be able to discuss
I'm pretty
more.
sure Game of Thrones would take longer than Harry Potter.
That's fine with me.
Yeah. And your girlfriend still won't have read all of One Piece.
She wouldn't have read... If she gets through the first volume by the time I finish Game of Thrones, I'll be happy.
That's sad.
Yeah, I know. It's a relationship dynamic, apparently. It's like...
Yeah.
Vince Smoked Up says, which straw hat would you like to be stuck in a blizzard with?
Chopper.
Not Luffy. He'd eat all the food.
Frankie.
Sanji.
Yeah, either Chopper or Frankie, because Frankie can blow fire.
Yeah, and
But
Frankie can build anything.
Yeah,
No, Frankie can build anything.
that's true, too.
So,
Oh, yeah,
and
he
he can
could-
build a fire, so...
I wouldn't need a snowblower if I had Frankie.
He is the
Yeah, exactly.
snowplow.
Although Chopper, you could also just, like, you put a sled on his, back and you're good to go.
I mean, yeah, you can cuddle.
And you can cuddle. It's warm, yeah. He's
Good
warm.
cuddle.
And if
Guard
there's a
point
medical
Chopper.
emergency, Chopper's there,
And also emergency food supply.
Yeah, also true.
Oh my
Exactly.
god. Yeah, I wouldn't want to, like, cuddle with Frankie in a blizzard. That'd probably not be a good idea.
Cold
I mean,
metal.
Frankie's mostly robot. Is he like cold?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Does he get cold? He's just wearing panties.
Well, he doesn't wear pants.
Well,
But
his
he
back
did
just
that
get cold?
years before.
I refer you to the anime episode where he repeats left, right, up for around 10 minutes. So you'll see the answer there. I don't remember the
remember
number. One of my favorite gags. Yeah, that's it. For the anime to elongate for 20 minutes, it was a great gag.
Mhm.
All right. Our next is from Ulash to Love, who says, I was listening to the read through, which was amazing, by the way, and you mentioned Johnny and Yosaku in the first episode. When I was watching the anime and reading the manga, I remember genuinely missing them and wishing they would have joined the crew. Are there any small minor characters you wish joined the crew?
Okay, I'm gonna be bitter until I die that Tsurume did not join the crew. I don't care how stupid that would have been. I wanted them a pet sea monster that just went with them forever.
It took me a second to remember who you were even talking about.
I love that damn Kraken.
This is a good question.
Yeah. I always liked Polly.
I never joined that bandwagon.
I don't know.
I just thought
I like
you
a lot.
had a. Go on.
Sorry, Sai, go first. I don't know.
I always thought that Polly had a really neat interactions with the rest of the crew. It's just he never really felt like a crew member.
Yeah. I mean, he really didn't like scantily clad women, but I mean, beyond that.
Yeah, that. Imagine him seeing Nami post time skip.
Oh my god. Reaction. Imagine how Saji would have reacted to that. Wait a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like I like a lot of the minor characters a lot, but I never really imagined them joining the crew. So I can't really like wrap my mind around this question, I guess.
I remember there was a theory a long time ago that Konus would join. Because musician.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was alright, I guess.
Yeah. I like Konus, but she's not like crazy crewmate material.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she was happy where she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a great combination with Pagaya. They were the original daddy-daughter team.
That's true.
Yeah. And she had a fucking bazooka.
She did.
My favorite scene.
She was badass.
She's badass.
She was gonna shoot a guy.
Yeah.
I love her.
The problem is I don't think she just like we didn't see enough of the depth of her character. Just there wasn't that backstory that you usually have with a crew member, etc. Unlike Tsurume, who actually I am curious about his family.
Yeah, his brother. I was like, he has that like relationship with Luffy. I was like, come on.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see that at the final war. We're gonna be seeing a lot of Kraken. I am 100% serious. Cool. Yeah.
Jinbei rides in on Tsurume, and it's all my dreams come true.
Well, now he's riding on Wadatsumi, which is, not quite as cool.
Well, I don't give a shit.
What if like the Straw Hat Fleet arrive on top of all the Krakens?
And with Laboon, just like
in the middle.
Yeah,
Laboon and a whole family of those whales,
island whales.
Well, assuming he can somehow get over the line.
And then Shirahoshi right there commanding the Sea Kings. I think we've got the end of One Piece.
I think we figured it out, guys.
That's it.
I think we're done. Any
also,
more
the
questions?
minks. Don't forget the minks.
Speaking of done, our last Reddit question, Zalumi says, while I talk about sincere loyalty from the minks, I know if I was subjected to such torture, I'd spill the beans in an instant. Would any of you fellas be willing to literally give an arm and leg to keep a friend you've known for years safe?
I mean, we all like to think we would, but
no.
I'm an artist. I need my arms, okay?
I mean, this is kind of really sad when you think about it. That
I wouldn't just do it for like a random person, like a. I mean, this is kind of like an acquaintance through. I don't know I don't know quite the relation. I don't know if I could judge in that position.
Do I get a cool hook?
Do I get an arm with a bazooka?
I think Oda is also portraying these characters as they're larger than life. It's like, you're in awe of them because they're doing what we would never be able to do in a way.
I mean, think about it. Luffy when he was
chapter.
Yeah.
When Luffy was 7 years old, he was tortured with a spiked glove and he didn't give it up. So it's like,
but Luffy
if you were 7 years old, would you be able to do that? Like,
Luffy is Luffy too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Luffy is just such a character beyond, like, not reality, but he's just so beyond our expectations that we can't really relate sometimes.
So that concludes Reddit. Now, will anyone want to take on what the next segment's called?
Peace
the
tweet.
Nightmare fuel.
Oh, God.
Oh god.
Oh, that was a mess.
Alrighty.
That was worse than it was the first time you tried that out before we recorded.
Oh, God.
Wow.
No.
All right, I'm out of here. That's really all I'm going to be able to sit through today.
Bye, bitch.
Hey, if you guys ever need a demon, I can help.
Clearly. That was Sai? Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. Hi, this is my high voice.
Erin, why don't you take away the piece of the tweets?
Yeah, so our first question is from some guy named Mo, and he asks, who is this Poochie character, and why do you keep comparing characters to him?
Poor guy. No, he's a Simpsons character. Look up Poochie Simpsons, you'll get a little bit of a better vibe. It's basically what we call like the hyper focus groups kind of cool kid, cool character, cool dude, yeah. But cool for the sake of being cool, and not cool because he just happens to be cool. He's not the Fonz, he's Poochie.
If you watch Gravity Falls, he's like Dippy Fresh.
Yeah, are there any other characters from other series, I should say, that strike you as Poochie that this person may know?
Hitsugaya from Bleach.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know, if there are any Bleach character fans out there, which
Sasuke from Naruto, I think probably, right? No?
yeah,
I haven't read the whole
maybe.
thing, so I can't. Yeah.
I know, Sasuke gets weird.
I'll take your word for it. All
Okay.
right. Yeah, go to the next one.
Yeah.
The next question is from Monkey D. Luffy Zero, and he says, not a question, but I have a theory that Shanks and his crew might get involved somewhere in this arc. My reasoning is the Straw Hats are in the New World now, and the Yonko know everything that's going on there. Also, the Kid Alliance is after Shanks. I can see either group losing before meeting up with the Straw Hat Alliance. So, okay.
Okay, so something that I thought of the other chapter was when Peckham's was talking about how Big Mom, what she did made things fate because she was a Yonko. They had power over everything, and that's such like an antithesis, whatever. Not okay with the. There we go, with the idea of like freedom in. Especially in the New World, but it's in all of One Piece, because Luffy does not believe in fate. He believes you make your own dreams come true. You fight for it. You're even if your dreams you know are going to happen, it's still you doing it. It's not because of fate. And so I don't really like the idea that like the Yonko know everything that's going on in the New World, blah blah blah, because that's just Peckham's talking. The person who is dedicated to a Yonko. I mean, obviously the Yonko don't know everything that's going on because Whitebeard was killed by Blackbeard. So, wait, yes.
What? Plus, like, Luffy has already, like, picked fights with, like, 3 of the Yonko so far, and none of them seem to realize it.
Yeah, it's true.
Also, on the vein of, Luffy's whole view of Pirate King is to have the most freedom. So...
Also true. What's the next question?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jill.
No, I definitely, of all Yonko, I mean, Whitebeard we've seen is dad. Whitebeard is dad, and he definitely didn't want to take freedom away from people. But like Shanks, oh my god, Shanks is, you can tell, he's all about the freedom. Like he wanted Luffy to go get his dreams, even if it surpassed him. There's no way that like Shanks as a Yonko is someone who would want to control people other than his own crew, even though he's not controlling them.
Yeah, the only time he ever like used that power was during the Whitebeard War, and that's because the war was over. It was continuing on beyond that point was like pointless. He stepped in to stop it.
I'm just realizing that the 4 emperors are kind of like different parts of a family. You've got the dad, you got Whitebeard, you got Big Mom, who's the overbearing mom who knows everything that's going on around the world.
She eats her children.
Not a good mom, mind you, but mom nonetheless. Some identification there. You've got the brother, the cool brother, which is Shanks. You got the evil brother, which is Blackbeard, I guess, or whatever he is. I don't know. Am I missing anyone?
The uncle no one talks about.
Kaido.
Oh, see, I was going to say Shanks is that, like...
Yeah.
Cool uncle?
Yeah.
No, he's like the
He's
uncle
the
you kind of
cool-
have an awkward crush on.
Oh, God.
Cousin.
That's just me.
No, Shanks is
Maybe.
too old.
What? No.
He's on my
Shanks is-
body calendar. I don't know.
No, he's too old to be like the cousin.
Shanks
oh,
is
okay.
Mr. December.
Okay, I think
Okay.
you're losing the thread here.
The next question is from Ice Rider 50, who asks, how different would the story be if instead of ships, travel was made by planes or trucks or maybe even in trains?
Be more boring.
Man,
Pirates?
he's gonna be the fucking conductor king. Wow, that's awesome.
I'm gonna
Well,
be
actually,
king of the truckers.
He's got the biggest truck balls they have.
God,
Disgusting.
I mean,
well, the whole world
spaceships,
would be
maybe?
Water 7.
Yeah, that Water
Yes.
7 did have that. I was thinking though, like this made my like mind go to the idea that, oh yeah, the story's kind of told in the past tense, like even from the beginning, you know, this is a story about this guy, blah blah blah. And even like this will affect events to come, and so I'm thinking that maybe we'll get to see what that looks like at the very, very end. Maybe we'll have like a time skip way into the future. Who knows? Or then again, maybe Oda wouldn't want to do that because it would be boring. But I don't know.
Well, it depends on how he pulls it off, really.
That's true.
At the end of Naruto, like it pulls out and suddenly you see this big like New York City behind the mountains, and it's just kind of boring. That's it.
Yeah.
They have computers now.
I mean, New York,
That's it.
I live here. I mean, sometimes it's exciting, but a lot of the times it's just filled with urine and a lot of other things you don't want to think about. What's the next question?
The next question is from Molicious Hat, who asks, who would be the snowball fight champion in OP World? Choose anyone.
Luffy.
No, Ivaukiji doesn't count because he uses ice. Monet.
Frankie. He could store bullets made of snowballs in his arms.
Or
Luffy
Robin.
can just twirl his
Robin.
hands over and over and over again.
Oh, Robin. Yeah, what am I thinking of?
Oh, yeah, Robin.
Yeah,
Not even close.
Robin would win.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Well,
the
there's
next
also
question,
Usopp, I guess.
there is also Usopp.
Usopp would win at dodgeball, but beyond that,
Yeah.
he'd hide in a corner until the end, and then he'd pin you at the end. That's how I used
That's
to play
what I used to
dodgeball.
do.
Yeah,
Is that how you
okay.
play dodgeball?
Yeah.
That's hella gay, Zach.
That's how I did it, and I won.
Thank you, son.
Although I was very bad at throwing the balls. I
Me
once
too.
hit a teacher on the. I once hit the teacher
man.
in the crotch by
I
accident.
did not do that.
I played Anime California, drunk weeaboo dodgeball in cosplay. I got out
Oh,
really
God.
fast. I was not all there.
That actually sounds fun.
When I was teaching in Japan, I used to play dodgeball with my elementary school students, and I am so much better at dodgeball than a bunch of 10-year-olds. Man, you wouldn't believe it.
That's good. You have to exert
well,
your
Really
influence
proud
over
of
them.
you.
I don't
You're
know if
better
I
than
could
the
make the
teacher
same
I
claim.
had.
I definitely could not make the same claim. What's the next question?
Yeah, next question is from our very own William, who asks, imagine you were teleported to the One Piece world. What would you do and where would you go?
I feel like we were
I would
asked this
hide.
before. Yeah, that's a
Karate.
good answer.
God, I want that food.
Yeah,
Down
Yeah.
to feast.
Baratier seems like
down
this,
to feast.
Baratier is also, except for the one part we see it, seems like the safest place in the One Piece world. It's like in the middle of the ocean, in the safest ocean, and there's great food and strong people around.
Well, it's
I-
like
I-
they
I
fight
wouldn't wanna be
pirates
anywhere.
constantly.
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
wouldn't want to be anywhere. I hate beaches, and I hate like stuff like that.
So,
man.
Mary Joie,
Drum Island.
the red line.
I don't like the cold.
Well,
I don't
tried
know.
to.
God,
There's gotta be
it's so
something.
picky. Jesus.
Well, actually, I don't like seafood either.
Well, I guess you're just boned.
Yeah. I don't-
Yo ho ho.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, would you
Yeah,
like
I
to be
guess the
stranded on a
closest-
ship for 50 years?
uh,
What about
I guess
Alabasta?
Water 7. Alabasta? No, I already live in a desert.
Well, then you'll be very comfortable.
Would be pretty. Thriller Bark would be pretty cool. Like those zombies were just chilling out. They were having a great time together.
Yeah, if you're into that.
I have a fear of zombies.
Okay, Sai, what do you want from me? I can't. There's nothing here.
Well, I was gonna say, I guess Water 7, but then you guys kept interrupting me.
No, Water 7 is all seafood.
I know, but
it's also sinking.
Cool.
Wait, Water 7 has the
I used to live in Florida.
Meat.
I'm used to sinking places.
Oh yeah, it's the water meat, but is that I don't think they have cows on Water 7. I assume that's sea meat. Like that's.
Well, I don't like cow either.
Right? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
What about Skype? Yeah. Oh, I'm afraid of heights too.
Yes.
Fishman Island.
You don't want to get the bends. You don't want to get the bends. That's a bad idea.
So yeah, like nowhere.
You could live on the moon with Eneru.
Dressrosa. Dressrosa would actually
after
be
their
good.
reconstruction.
Yeah, they have good food there. They're like
post.
Post.
Yeah, as long as I don't have. Well, I'm picky, so.
Clearly,
my opinion doesn't count. I
Erin.
also don't like cheese.
Freight terminal.
Oh my god, Erin, what's the next question?
The next question is from said Regina, and they ask, is it possible that Raizo is a female, or is the name strictly male in Japanese? A Kunoichi as a new character would be cool, and I agree.
Steven, this person got
it wasn't me, it was Alexi.
Well, okay. And Alexi's definitely not listening, so it's not gonna work.
No.
We feel you, said Regina. We feel you.
Yeah, no, I agree. It would be super cool, but the name is male, so it would be quite a curveball if that turned out to be the case. But can't rule it out.
Well, we all know Oda never throws curveballs, so I think we're safe from that.
Curveboards.
Definitely didn't happen this week.
Curveboards. Thank you for catching that.
Well, have we ever had like characters with gender bend names before?
Dodon?
Not that I can.
Oh wait, no,
think
that's
of.
just because everyone thought Dodon was male.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the names are made up. They're not like
Yeah.
real world names. So
How dare you?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be like a really fun character quirk. Like, hey, isn't that a boy's name? No, I'm a girl kind of deal. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lucy.
Lucy, there we go.
there you go.
Perfect.
Does that one count?
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, that is Luffy's gender bent name. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that better than
It's
Luffy-ko.
Namizo?
Namizo?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Namizo.
Namizo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thriller Bark.
Oh yeah. Well, that's in the reverse direction. Yeah.
Yeah, but
This
she was
is
claiming
Brooke.
to be a man, not that she was a woman with a man's name. So,
True.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Lola just saw through it.
What's next?
The next one is from Milo Stilitz.
Milos
What
the
do you
creator.
think are some of...
Go ahead.
What?
No,
oh, yeah.
go on, yeah.
What do you think are some of Oda's most badass character designs? Most
Marco's
badass.
Phoenix form. I love.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, half Phoenix form. His regular Phoenix form kind of looks stupid, but like his half Phoenix form is badass.
Yeah.
The one sticking out to me right now is Kaido.
Yeah.
Not
Pretty good.
not to say twice in an episode his favorites. I think Kuma has a pretty badass design. I think maybe that's why Oda used it so many times repeatedly for the pacifistas. Well, I want to.
Yeah.
I should say that plus his like super calm, middle of the road voice. I think make him a really like badass character. It's like a good juxtaposition there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any others?
Yeah. There's a lot of badass characters. I mean, like I said earlier, that I like Mihawk.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, I like aesthetically. I like Crocodile and Hancock. They're kind of different.
yeah.
I guess.
Mhm.
Like especially
Oh,
Hancock.
oh.
She's not like the usual female.
Dude, Suru is like so badass to me.
True.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Just
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
old lady, military
So good.
uniform, takes no shit
Mhm.
from anyone. Ugh.
Kureha
There we
too.
go.
She's awesome.
Kureha
yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
She kicked the fucking wall down.
Kureha is definitely badass. And Suru, too. Suru, what do we call it? Steve called her Suru and her bad biddies or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I
Love
also really love the design of Hancock's sisters, Sunder Sonia and Marigold. I don't know. I love their designs. I like their snake forms. They're just great.
Well, speaking of, if they turned full snake, would they be giant snakes or tiny snakes?
Didn't they turn full
Like little
snake?
tiny-
No, they turned half snake because they still had boobs. So yeah, they had boobs.
Snitties.
So you're saying real snakes don't have those? My mind's
No,
blown.
my uncle
No,
had a
exactly.
snake, and no, they don't.
I thought you were going to surprise me and say, and they did.
No, what
I thought you were
the
gonna go with
surprise is
your
I
uncle
fed a
had
dead
boobs.
rat to a snake.
Maybe we should move on to the next question. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was not at all where that question. What's the most badass character? Well, I fed a rat to a snake and it did not have boobs on it.
No, it didn't. It did shed its skin.
Okay. So here's a question from 91 Ryan. They ask, do you think this is, they have a picture of the Luffy Co. figure that came out recently, and they're asking us if we think it's better or worse than the female Law figure.
Worse?
Okay, as someone who
Equally
owns-
terrible.
Yeah.
tons of figures, I spent $400 on figures at my last convention.
Jesus Christ.
I appreciate titty figures for titty figures. Like, I'm not going to say no to a
Yeah.
beautiful woman, but I'm not looking for that in a Luffy figure.
Yeah.
I just want a
No.
cute female Luffy. At least the Law figure was wearing Law's actual clothes, like jeans and like a shirt. This is like a skirt and shit like that. And I'm like, nah, just put
Luffy
her in a
wouldn't wear a
regular Luffy
skirt.
outfit.
Yeah.
I don't
guess-
care what gender he is.
Well, he did well, it's not a skirt. In Alabasta, he was wearing the, what do you call it? I don't know. It was. I don't think there were pant legs in that though.
Well,
The
those
robe?
look
That's
more like a night clothes or something. Wasn't it?
This is gravity defying though. This is just.
Yeah, that. I mean, I hate it so much.
Oh, we got a comment on I think last week or 2 weeks ago asking us why we hated boobs so much. For the record, we don't hate boobs.
No, it's not that we hate boobs. It's just that we hate boobs where they don't need to be.
Yeah, like on snakes.
I appreciate her haircut.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
or on Luffy. Like,
Okay,
like
but
Luffy is
if Luffy,
Luffy.
The more
can Luffy use your third on her titties?
now these are real questions. These are some real
Well,
questions.
Hey, let's turn that around. Can he do it on his butt?
Yes.
Look, some people do gear forth on their boobs, and some people do it on their butts. It's all the.
Gear
it's...
4 or Gear 3. Gear 4 would be horrifying.
Oh my God.
Giant black boobs.
To each their own. To each their own. Some
Okay.
like gear 4,
Trying.
some like gear 3, some like gear 2. I don't know.
This is a no judgment zone.
This is
How
no
would that-
judgment zone.
How would
Exactly.
Gear 2 work with boobs?
They get.
Gear 2
No,
is
I'm
awful.
Get
stopping
real
myself.
sweaty.
They get shiny, sweaty, and hot.
Ooh.
Steamy.
Steamy.
That's
They
how
get
seen.
steamy. And they move faster? I don't know.
You like the
Supersonic
jiggles?
jiggling.
Yeah, there's just a lot of it.
Like supersonic jiggling?
This is what you wanted, Zach. You wanted the boob cast. This is what you got.
No, I did not want the boob cast. For God's
Oh, yes,
sake.
the Opie cast.
Oh, God.
Too late.
But realistically, if her face cast is nice, I might buy her. I don't care.
I just wish that
Mhm.
the clothes made sense.
Yeah.
Because they don't.
Yeah.
Like I saw that figure and I got so angry. I drew my own version of Luffy-ko or Lucy or whatever.
I kind of like the face. I think that's accurate. Like,
I like the
Yeah, the
face and the
face is-
hair.
Nice.
yeah, the hair's cool, but
It's-
yeah.
I also have a problem with gender bends that like the male looks like a normal, man, person, whatever, and then the female is suddenly super sexy, even when it doesn't fit that body type of character or whatever.
Well, are the men super sexy?
Does Luffy look super sexy?
But they're not.
I don't know.
Like Luffy's never posed in a way that's like, don't you want to hit this?
Don't you have a calendar with him on it?
Yeah, I know.
I don't think Luffy's calendar. Actually, I don't think Luffy's in the calendar. I have the calendar.
He is in the calendar. Luffy is Mr. June. Also, he's punching in it, so that's not super sexy. But I also just bought a Luffy body pillow, and that is. So
to each their own. Again, to each their own. Yeah.
Yeah. No judgment.
Aren't most of those made by fans though?
Yep.
Yeah. Body pillows. Yeah. So I don't think that counts as a filmer.
Well, they've been getting. I mean, these kind of things have been getting more officially licensed, and I think we talked about this a little, in part to combat, the fan ones and to, get a little of that sweet fan service money, apparently.
I mean, mine's not nude, it's just Luffy.
Is he snoring and is there a snot bubble coming out of his nose?
No, but he's just smiling. And then the next one, his hands are almost down his pants. But
what's the next question?
From the same person, has Oda confirmed or denied the existence of a devil fruit that can control water?
Kill me. No.
I had an idea like that once. And then I never did anything.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
The idea of a devil fruit that controls water is like the people who say there should be like a shark devil fruit. Oh, I'm gonna turn it into a shark. Ooh, jump into the water. That'll work well for you. Stop that.
Well, like I think it's all like semantics. Like if you're controlling water, you don't have to be in the water. You don't have to touch the water. It could be like an Avatar, The Last Airbender thing. But it also doesn't make sense because water is the weakness.
Yeah. So. I mean, ice is pushing it, I think. And we have that. But we have that movie character who controlled liquids. And I was like, all right, that's your get out of jail free card, apparently. But
yeah, that was in like movie 1 or 2 or something.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
It was
something like that.
Yeah, she was like... It was in the movie where Sanji and Nami dress up as like bride and groom.
Interesting. What's the next question?
The next question is from Bisaromi Bear. And they asked, did I miss something or was grammar used to confirm Raizo as at least 2 Wano samurai? I don't know if I understand this question.
He thinks it's 2 people, that Raizo could be 2 people. I don't think that's...
So he's Ryan Zo?
I don't think so. Ryan Zo.
I thought it was Ray.
Well, now we know. No, now we know who. Now we know that the elephant is the samurai, and now we just need to find the other one.
That's a big samurai.
He was hiding in plain sight for 1,000 years.
Amazing.
Cool. Yeah, keep going.
So the next one is from Malicious Hat again. They ask, this is from my bro. What if Kaido attacks Big Mom because he thinks the Straw Hats are working with her and because she has Caesar Clown? So will Kaido attack Big Mom?
Maybe.
We got this question before too. Yeah, we discussed the possibility. I think it would be interesting, but it's hard to see how he doesn't make that then the arc is suddenly about both of those two, and I feel like he would rather split them up into their own stories.
Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like like emperors fighting each other is a really big deal, insanely big. They're the 4 emperors, and if any of them were going to full out attack another, there would have to be some damn good proof that something really shitty was going down. And I mean, it's just like
the world government.
I don't see that.
Like during the Whitebeard War, they were all freaking out when Shanks and Whitebeard talked. Really? There wasn't even any fighting. There was just a talk.
I'm curious how the hell Luffy's going to take any of these guys down. I mean, we know it's going to happen. We've been reading One Piece long enough to know that. I'm just curious how it's going to happen because these guys are strong. Yeah. I don't know. What's next? Yeah.
So the next one is from the Kaizoku Rufy, and he asks, did you guys see the character designs for film Gold? If so, what do you think of them? I like the leather look. And I just want to say, I'm going to hold out for now on my opinions because Me,
Oh,
Jill,
yeah.
and Allison are working on something real special, little secret, little editorial where we might discuss this. So I'm going to hold off for now, and maybe the rest of you can talk.
Sigh.
I'm just gonna, stripper.
Stripper.
Yeah, what we said
Steven,
earlier.
do you have a...
I actually have not seen the designs yet. I've been a lot out of the loop.
Tisk.
I think from what I was seeing on Twitter, the opinions were more negative than positive. I mean, they were both, but I will reserve judgment until I see it in the movie. I think is fair. I know it's kind of a cop out answer, but it doesn't strike. They're not as cool from what I could tell as Film Z and Strong World. Strong World especially.
Yeah. The thing with those is those were iconic. Like the Strong World, I mean, everyone knows those outfits. I mean, I'm cosplaying Strong World Robin at Fanime, and I have friends who are doing it. Everyone knows Strong World. They don't even watch One Piece, and they want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So those are iconic. These ones, I'll be interested to see how they're used in the anime in the movie, because it's not quite as awe-inspiring as the other ones.
Yeah.
These ones
it's
are
kind of like
they're kind of just fan servicey.
Yeah. There's also kind of like a Mission Impossible kind of theme going on. I don't know if that's just me. Like, they look like spies.
Yeah, if it's Vegas theme though, I was hoping it'd be like tuxes and like stuff like that. Like if they're actually trying to look like high rollers or something. If they're trying to blend in
like Ocean's 11 or something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Or didn't Greg say that this could also go into like a Western theme? So that could have been interesting to have them all like dressed up as cowboys and.
That would also be cool. It's looking more casino. It's like looking Casino Royale-ish at the moment. So let's see. Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to have more costume changes. Like, this can't be the only thing they're going to wear.
Definitely.
That was the one thing that kind of took me out of Film Z, is that there were like 6 of them in that movie. So, okay, I get it. You're being sponsored by like whatever this is. So just keep going.
Yeah. Although Frankie didn't change very much. He was in that Sakura thing for a long time.
That's true too. Yeah.
Thank God. The pink fro got me. Hell yeah.
I mean, how could it not?
I mean, it's not like he had any other clothes, but still.
I know, they did say specifically that all their clothes were ruined.
Well, he doesn't wear many clothes anyway, so it's not like a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, well, the hair dye could have fallen out sometime, I guess.
I don't know how that works.
Or taken off the wig.
I won't know how that works until I get my pink fro wig at some point. What's the next question?
Next question is from Ricardo Rodriguez, and he asks, why does Oda draw characters without legs? They seem to move fine. First Kyros, now Dogstorm. Gotta love OP World.
Hopping along. Time for Easter.
I remember Brian saying how much of a pain in the ass that it must be to animate.
Yeah.
So
I can already
sorry guys,
it.
More.
Only if you care about it.
At least Dogstorm has crutches.
I mean, he threw it away to fight, but at least he had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kairos, we never saw that transition. He was just straight up hopping since we first saw him, but at least Dogstorm has something to hold himself up.
That's true.
Yeah, or he's like lying down or riding on his like alligator thing.
Mm-hmm. Or sleeping.
Yeah. So the next question is from Senior Beppo. Did anyone tear up or get emotional after reading last week's chapter? I think we already talked about this. The answer is yes. I did.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
No. Last question.
Last question is from our Chow, and he asks, for Steven, if an OP character with a traditional Japanese name appears, are you required to reverse the order of the name?
No. It's as long as it's in the same order. I mean, we've already established a precedent with that we always put it in the order that it's written in the series. A more interesting note would be like what we would do, because this is kind of one of the difficulties of kind of translating it piecemeal as it comes out, because Oda likes to introduce elements way before they become kind of commonplace in the series. So, for example, like Kinemon, his his name is like Foxfire Kinemon or something like that. But that's a Japanese term, and the same thing with Kanjuro, who was it was Yudachi, which means like evening shower or something like that. And
still a weird nickname.
Well, that's the thing is like now that we know, okay, there's like a Kogetsu clan. My first question was like, okay, well, should I call them the Light Moon clan? Like, am I going to continue this pattern, or because we don't know, like, are those family names for the characters we've already seen? We just don't know enough about Wano to know how Oda is kind of playing around with the kind of real life patterns, and so that's something that we just kind of have to figure out. So we went with Kogetsu clan at first, but it could potentially like create a scenario where once we get to Wano and there's all these Japanese names, like there might be more, Japanese names, but then for some reason, Kinemon and Kanjuro just have these weird English, literalized versions of theirs. It's just hard to say without knowing how he ultimately plans to do that stuff. And, it's such a long-term development that there's no way to guess. We just kind of have to roll with it as best we can figure out at any particular point in time.
I think that does it. I just want to say, Stephen, I've almost forgot what I want to add on to that. I think a good time to, go a little more crazy with the Japanese words though is probably the Wano related characters. If you're going to do it at any time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's right. It's just the thing is like we, when those characters were introduced, we didn't know if those were meant to be like descriptive names, because they are descriptive. I mean, technically all Japanese names are descriptive because they're all in kanji that have individual meanings. But we just already started this precedent of, well, these names are kind of translated into a fanciful English version. It's just a question of, are they meant to be like, are they meant to be family names, or can they be treated as kind of nicknames or the epithets?
Titles?
So that's right, titles. Who knows? We will find out.
All right, let's round off the podcast. Everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Woo.
Totally.
This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 406 for Tuesday, February 16th, 2016. This was a really fun show. I'm hoping to do this kind of thing every so often. I think it's good to hear different voices, certainly, and it's cool to say that everyone here works on the site in some capacity too. So I'll go around the horn. You guys could say where people can contact you. First, I want to thank Jill. Where can people find you? Where can people find your articles, etc., and so forth?
All right, so you can find me at Piratus on Luck on Twitter. I also write monthly editorials every the second Wednesday of every month. My editorial goes under the name Fortnite. And I am currently setting up my no spoiler Tumblr, and it's She Wants the Will of D with dashes.tumblr.com.
Cool. Thank you, Jill. We also have Sai. Thank you for coming on again, Sai.
Hey, no problem. You can, it was really fun to be on again. It's been a while.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
You can find me at on Twitter at SaiSaiXChan. And on Tumblr, my art blog is artsycrapfromsai.tumblr.com, and then my main blog is SaiSai, then a dash, and then chan.tumblr.com. And those are the places I frequent most often.
Alison, thank you for coming on. I know it's a very different time of day there than it is for the rest of us, but thank you for taking the time to come.
Oh, no, thank you for having me, as awkward as I am, but it's been so much fun. I think I spent the majority of my time laughing and trying to suppress my laughter. Like, really, my stomach hurts. I had a good workout. You can find me on... Okay. You can find me on Twitter at Ruina, and I also have a website with drawings. I'm an artist too, and you can find it at holidayblue.com, all one word. And there are links to all my social media accounts like Tumblr, Facebook, so you can follow from there.
And Alison, you were featured in Usopp Gallery a few volumes
Yeah.
back, right?
Yeah, last
you
summer, my Madame Charlie painting got featured.
What volume
And
was that
it
again?
was 78, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a huge surprise, and it was one of my goals for the year, so it was happy news.
That would be one
Yeah,
of my...
I bought that at AX. It's gorgeous, Alison.
Yeah, unfortunately, now that it's on the gallery, I can't sell it anymore because now they have copyrights to it. So you are lucky, Joel. I won't be selling those anymore. Yep.
Damn it. But well, I guess there that goes.
I still have a lot. Yeah, I have a lot of leftover prints of it though. I don't know what to do, but I'm sure distributing them is a no-no. So
yeah.
Well,
I'll just
couldn't
have to
you
keep it
give
for
them
myself.
couldn't you give them away as extra or something?
As long as I'm not making money, maybe, but I don't want to get in trouble with the law, so
Yeah.
It's Shueisha. You don't need to. Yeah, I understand. It's in volume 78 if people want to see it too. So yeah, thank you, Alison, for coming on. And our editor, Erin.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, that's me.
Erin, thank you for coming on. Where can people find you?
You can find me all over Twitter at Amazing Bedhead. I'm also on Tumblr and Instagram if you want to look at pictures of me. Right now on Twitter, I'm I'm doing a read through of One Piece for the first time in like a decade, and I just got up to Water 7, and I've been sharing my thoughts about that every now and then. So if you want to come talk about it, come and follow me.
And finally, thank you again, Erin. And finally, Stephanie Paulina, thank you for coming on. Where can people find you?
Well, I don't have a pithy female translatosaur. I don't know. I don't even know what that would be. No, you can just follow me on Twitter at Translatosaurus, where I talk about generally about the stuff that I work on here and there within a reasonable bounds, so that it's not too unprofessional. But
that's what this podcast is
follow
for.
Me there.
Yeah.
This is where I really get it off my chest.
And my name is apparently Xenon Logan, but you could find me on Twitter at Zach_Logan. Does anyone want to take what Ed usually does and tell people how to contact us, or should I do that?
I don't think I can remember everything.
Okay.
And if you type it out, I can say it.
No, that's not how this works on this show. You could.
Yeah, totally not.
No, Ed does this off the top of his head every single week. I'm serious. Yeah, it's kind of scary. You can follow.
He does it.
No, go ahead.
He does it every week, so it's
Yeah, you think
probably knows
406 times of that. You can follow us at OnePiecePodcast.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at One Piece Podcast. New episodes of this show come out on YouTube.com/OnePiecePodcast the day after they air. So please subscribe there and review and give us a thumbs up there. You could also check us out on SoundCloud, which you should do all of those things as well. SoundCloud.com/OnePiecePodcast. Subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. Stitcher Radio is broken, so we are not there at the moment. I don't know if it's back, but whatever. There weren't too many of you listening on there. So, but let us know if you're still interested in Stitcher. I'm probably forgetting things, which would be sad. Tumblr at onepiecepodcast.tumblr.com. We're on Google Plus. I think there's like 6 of you there. I think that's everything. But you can contact us at our phone number, and that phone number is 347-497-MAJI. That phone number again is
Maji.
There is a delay.
Maji.
That phone number is 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
Oh, anytime.
Anytime.
Steven, your delay is bad. With your questions, comments, theories, or your best meow or bark.
You want me to bark too?
You could do whatever you'd like.
Nah, I'll stick to meows.
Okay. Thank you all for coming on. This was a really fun show. I hope to do this with all you guys again soon. Next week we will be in Washington, D.C. recording live with myself, Steve, Dude, and Ed. I don't know what it's going to be, but it'll probably be a lot of fun, so please stay tuned for that. And of course, if it's not already on, please listen to the latest episode of 20 Minutes of BS. That has a separate feed on iTunes, so check that out there. So for the One Piece Podcast, my name is Xenon. We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
My delay isn't that bad. I know what you're talking about.